Hi guys, welcome to Nightwatch 716. I'm Eric, and I'm in the middle of a convergence. Sorry for being a little bit late. Moja Cranberry!
Mocha
Mojo
Cranberry.
Cranberry.
As you can tell, I have Michelle on the line. We're here for
Yes.
Nightwatch
Yes.
discussions. How are you, Cranberry? Happy Friday. Sorry for the delay. I realized I had a physics exam at the last moment, and I was struggling to try to get through it as fast as possible. And thank God I had just finished reading the chapters that we were covering this afternoon. I was reading it over my lunch break to kind of review, and so it was still fresh in my mind, and so it helped me kind of get a lot of the answers very quickly, or a lot quicker than I thought they would be. My 2 week vacation does begin. Yay! I am so jelly. Did you take it because your mom is here and it's Mama Palooza? Or did you have other things in mind? Did you already schedule it ahead of time? Is it because your sister was having her party? Is it because Cookie is meowing in the background?
Is he meowing in the
Yeah, in the
background?
background.
Can't
I
hear
can't hear
I
him.
can hear him. I think you just tuned him out. He has been
him.
meowing.
No,
No,
these
these
headphones are really
headphones are
good.
really good.
Oh, I hear
Oh, I
you.
hear you now.
I think it's a mixture of what Michelle wants to hear or not hear, and the
Thanks,
headphones.
Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, it was because of the baby and mom. Okay, well, that's good. But I do want to try and still do some hiking during it. That'd be cool. I would love to see your pictures. I hope your mama time is going well. I hope it's not too stressful. I briefly debated, well, I briefly considered the idea of doing a stream with my mom and interviewing her about like her childhood. I didn't want it to be like like a gotcha interview, so I didn't want to like touch on like my own childhood, but maybe like an opportunity for her to kind of speak on her own because she was raised in like Bolivia in a different culture, different time, and I think that might be a good thing to kind of I don't know record. I'm not really sure. I'm still not completely sold on it. I wanted to make sure that I didn't do it from a place of like I don't know embarrassing her. Like I don't know. I didn't want it to be from a negative spot. I wanted to clearly be from a positive spot if I did so. And so I wanted to have a good hook for it and an idea, so that I'd be prepared, and that way I could picture something planned out and not just impromptu. So you put up the pictures from last week. Bless you,
Excuse
but
me.
there's not much there since mom tagged along on that sweet giver for. I remember. I remember she wanted to go hiking with you and then immediately regretted it. I was thinking about going to the movies tomorrow with Michelle. I was thinking about taking Michelle to the movies tomorrow.
Woo!
This is the first Michelle's hearing of it.
What, what,
Actually, it's
what
not the
movie?
first. We had talked about it before. We actually talked about it 2 weeks ago.
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
did.
did.
I even mentioned what movie I'd like to watch.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
You remember? Because I don't remember the name of the movie, but I know what it was about.
What's that?
What's that?
Because I don't remember the name of the movie, but I remember what it was about.
Oh, you don't
Oh, you
remember
don't
the name of
remember
the
the name
movie?
of the movie?
No, but I do remember what it was about.
Oh.
Your brother even heard of it. We had talked with it about your brother last week, and your brother said he sounded interested in it too.
And my brother
And my
what?
brother what?
Said he that it was interesting to him as well. Like he would also consider watching it. You don't remember?
Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts?
No, that doesn't come
Oh,
out.
the
Oh, the
accountant too.
accountant too.
No, that's not what
No?
we're talking
No?
about. No. Though I had mentioned it to you, and I did show you the trailer and the fan thing that everybody's talking about that it's Batman teams up with the Punisher that I find really amusing. Wins is also on the line if you happen to hear another person. That is not Michelle.
Hi.
Hello,
No,
Wins.
I'm like,
Got
got Michelle.
Well, because I forgot that like if Wins just like says or does something, people will be like, "Who's that mysterious third person?"
You're hearing things I'm not being here.
It's Michelle experimenting with different voices.
Yes.
Right?
That third person is Cookie's true form.
There you go.
If I can get an AI cartoon Cookie whose mouth moved at the same time, that would be amazing.
That would be cute.
So on YouTube, we're releasing Dragon Warrior 3 currently. And I forgot that part of the discussion. So I was listening to it over lunch while reading my physics homework because I love to multitask. But I forgot, Cranberry, that we had talked about your brother giving a drunken speech for you on your birthday, for your birthday, to your sister, forgetting that it was your birthday.
Wow, bro.
With his late night stream, there's no background noise here. I can hear you. Oh yeah, I turned off the audio for Guild Wars 2 because I was listening to my marketing class the other day. Man, I'm telling you, almost every free moment, I'm either reading or listening to a book about my textbook. So last time I logged on, which was a long time ago actually, days ago, I jumped on to do stuff and then I was listening to my marketing book. Oh, the background noise is always on my end. Oh, really? Just a side effect of mom being here. Is your mom not there right now? Is your mom asleep? Did you get yourself a panic room? Blink twice, Cranberry, if you need help. He's asleep. I will try to listen for your blinks. Well, that's nice. I know all the times I've been talking about background noise, it was noise here at the house. Oh, okay. Never been an issue with your streams. It's what I assumed. I just wanted to double check because sometimes I could assume something and be completely off. But I'm glad. I know that's one of the things I realize when I visit my sister and my mom is I realize how loud it is over there. And I realize that's what house I grew up in, that type of environment. And so it's a little strange. Actually, it's not strange. It's relieving to be in a home now where it's not just so much noise in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or you're the only
you're the only
noise.
noise.
Yeah. Oh, what the hell, man? They shot me down? That's a thing?
Yep.
Yep,
That happened.
that happened.
A-holes.
I just barely survived that.
survived that.
I was like maybe 5 feet away from the ledge, and then I got shot down.
Ah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Didn't know that was a thing. I've never been shot down. Well, not that I recall. I've never been shot down on this map.
Ever.
On this map, fighting a boss.
Okay.
But I completely understand Cranberry. Um, just because we used to have like we're used to having maybe 4 TVs up at the same time with different people listening to different things, and sometimes it's the radio as well. It was a lot. Oh, Michelle's down.
I am.
I'm at.
I'm up.
I remember I wouldn't be able to sleep in on the weekends because
Darn it.
Darn it.
you down again. I can see that you're down. Jesus,
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Down and
Almost out.
almost out.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, I'm with
I'm
wisp form.
form.
You went wisp form.
Wisp
Wisp.
form.
Right,
I don't
right,
know
right.
what it does.
Yeah,
or
that's
what-
for what.
Well, you got different buttons now, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as soon as people fill up Zoja's resurrect meter, you'll be resurrected again.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's masteries that give you more things you can do in that form. Ah! I still don't have my sky scale. There. Eventually, you'll also be able to ride the ley lines with your sky scale
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that looks pretty amazing too.
and your griffin. Oh, she's nuts. I need to put chat on my phone because otherwise I will miss a lot of what we're doing. Well, I may miss, actually. I have been missing. Sorry if I haven't responded to any chats. I am looking forward to Saturday, to tomorrow, and playing the new Batman episode. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to end badly. And I'm not normally a pessimist, but I also know how I am. And having the Joker's fate reliant on me and my approval is such a bad decision. I am not a role model.
Why don't you be the Joker's friend?
friend?
Probably because he's going to be very much attention, kind of like how Cookie is with you. And I'll probably be playing your role with Cookie where you're like, no.
Not always. No.
No.
That's true, you're not always no.
And apparently he doesn't think so either because he comes over and cuddles with me.
He keeps trying. He has an amazing heart.
He's shy.
Yeah, he's willing to put his heart out there. He wears it on his sleeve. Isn't there a song about that? About like going out and love again?
There's a bunch of different songs about that.
Name three.
Oh, I can't think of them off the top of my head right now.
But there's so many. The audience can help you out. If you guys can help out Michelle, feel free. I managed to successfully secure a pre-order for Switch 2. Oh my god, congratulations. That is rare. Oh my god, I just got nuked again.
I got shot down.
Me too. This is now getting to be a thing that I'm not enjoying. How dare they? I feel insulted. Is the price okay? Because for the people that have been able to get it, it's been a little pricey.
Oh.
But congratulations. That sounds really cool. Also, I thought they were delaying the US shipment, no? Or did that get changed?
For what?
For the Switch 2. I thought Nintendo had delayed their American release because they weren't sure how things were going to go due to the tariffs. I had all but given up when the pages were all crashing. I was trying at Target. I gave it one last try before I was going to give up. Then it went through. Yay!
Oh, awesome.
But it is expensive. They delayed not the release, but the pre-order date. I see. This was the delayed pre-order release. Got it. Well, I'm really happy that you got one. Well, at least you got the pre-order for sure. Congratulations. I look forward to that. Are there any games in particular you're looking to? Does it come with any games at the get-go? I know that probably dates me, but back in my day, I remember they used to give away a game with a system. I wonder. I got the version that comes with the new Mario Kart. Okay, does the default one come with any games? I would assume not. Just because, inflation and all that, apparently.
Ah, darn it.
You got a choice of no games or comes a digital Mario Kart for 50 more. Digital Mario Kart. Wow. Yeah, they're really trying to back away from giving physical games. Ow.
To cater to more people and they get
and
the
they get
type
the
of
type of
game that they
game that
want.
they want.
What do you mean?
For
For
example,
example,
say I
say
like
I like
Tetris.
Tetris.
Okay.
They have
They have
Tetris, they
Tetris, they
have
have
Mario
Mario
Brothers,
Brothers,
they have
they have
Mega
Mega
Man, they
Man, they
have
have
Metroid.
You're
Metroid.
talking about that it
And
comes with the game?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it
Well,
doesn't
it
come with
doesn't
the
come with
game
the
per
game per
se, but
se, but
like a
like a
discount or a
discount or a
rebate for
rebate
that
for
game.
that game.
That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about a price range that, for example, if you
You
pay a
buy
little,
your own game.
yeah, essentially, and it's a digital copy of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bundle.
What are they
What are they
bundling?
bundling?
Like in this case, Mario Kart.
Okay.
Okay.
But you just said that you don't get a game
get a
with it.
game with it.
If you're on the cheapest value, you don't get a game with it. Or you could bundle it with Mario Kart. Most people think the price of the console itself is reasonable, but game costs have people very unhappy. Yeah, I think it's like $100, isn't it? They're trying to price the games at $100.
Yeah.
Right now they're at like I think 70, 80. And I think that's $80 for a digital copy. I think physical copies are priced more. I believe. And they charge 10 more for physical. Yeah, there you go. Not as much as I thought they would. But still, it's extra. Yeah, my friend Kevin was complaining about um, the higher price for a physical copy. And,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
I was like, well, yeah, you're getting a physical copy. You expect, like, if I sold you a physical poster, that would cost more money because I have to have it printed. If I was just going to give you a digital poster, I would charge you less because it costs me less to give it to you.
So people
Some
even
people even give out
digital
digital
books for
books for
free.
free.
Some people do.
You know?
Yeah.
When's the next one? 11 p.m. Okay, this gives me some time to kind of sort through this. Whew. What do you think, Michelle?
About
Digital games. The rise of digital games and the phasing out of physical games.
I well,
Considering the
considering the
fact that I
fact that
have
I have
most of my
most of my
games
games
digitally on
digitally
my
on my
computer,
computer,
I
I
was
was
liking
liking
having the
having the
physical
physical
copy,
copy,
but for
but
some
some
practical
practical
and
and
understandable
understandable
reasons,
reasons,
it is
it
better
is
for
better for
digital.
digital.
Why?
For
For
example,
example,
space,
space,
Okay.
because you would
because
have
you
to
would have to
store that
store
item
that
here.
item here.
Yeah,
Just
but I usually made it like decoration, like a presentation. Like I enjoyed showing them off and making a display out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
found
found
a
a
aesthetic way
aesthetic
of
way of
displaying it,
displaying it,
or
or
aesthetic
aesthetic
purpose.
purpose.
The industry has been
But it's
trying to
kind of
kill
like
off
Kind of like
physical
CDs.
for a while now. Right, exactly. And that's what I'm talking about is the shift from physical to digital.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of like
kind of like
CDs.
CDs
Okay.
And cassette
and
tapes.
cassette
We
tapes.
used to
We
carry
used to carry
cassette tapes
tapes
and stuff.
and stuff.
And
We
stuff.
had
And we had
CDs.
CDs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and stuff.
and
For
stuff for
Walkmans and
Walkmans
stuff.
and stuff.
And then it
And
went
then
to
it went to
CDs.
CDs.
Oh,
Oh,
my sister
my
used to
sister
have
used
like
to have like
this big CD
big
rack.
rack.
And now you can
Now
have
you can
all
have
those
all those
songs
songs
on your phone
on your phone
without
without
taking up
taking up
space in
space
your
in
home
your home
or
or
moving it
moving it
when you have to
when you have
move,
to move,
carrying that with
carrying
you.
that with you.
Yeah, but you're not, where are you keeping them? For example, a lot of people tend to use, for example, Spotify. Spotify, you have, what the heck? You have to be able to pay for it, and it's a monthly fee.
Yeah.
It could be free. You don't have to pay for it, but you're going to hear commercials and everything else, and then they'll randomize your playlist. Like you don't get exactly the song you want.
Right.
Um,
And for
And
some
for
things
some
like
things like
Pandora,
Pandora,
if you
if
play
you
it for
play
a
it for
certain
a
amount of
certain amount
time,
of
they
time,
have
they
this
have
one
this
that
one that
I
I
played
played
Pandora for
Pandora for
3 hours
3 hours
one day,
one day,
and because
and
of
because
that,
of
they
that,
gave
they
me
gave me
a certain
a
amount of
certain
time
amount of
for
time
free
for free,
or
okay.
certain days
certain
for
days
free,
for free,
and it's
and
usually
it's usually
randomized.
randomized.
If it's a
If it's a
specific song
specific
I want
song
to
I
listen
want to
to,
listen to,
I guess I
I
gotta
guess
go
I
to
gotta go to
YouTube or
YouTube or
something.
something.
Even YouTube though would have likely an
Commercials.
advertisement before.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're having two commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes it would have been easier just to carry around a physical copy of your cassette tape.
Well, with the
Well, with the
cassette tape,
cassette
you
tape, you
just try to
just try to
search for
search
that
for that
song.
song.
You can't
You
play
can't
it right
play it
away
right
because
away
you have
because
to
you have to
fast
fast
forward.
forward.
They sold singles,
They did
They
sell
did sell
singles.
singles.
or you could burn your own CD with your own mixtape with no commercials.
What's that?
There's that.
Don't get me wrong, I'm fine for digital products. I'm just trying to get Michelle's opinion on this because I am curious about it. I haven't really asked her about it,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and it is an interesting concept.
It is an
It is
interesting
an
concept.
interesting concept.
I think
I think one of
Kevin's
Kevin's
issues
issues
was
was
the
the
prospect of it
prospect of
being
it
taken
being
away,
taken away,
right?
right?
Yes, because it's no longer yours now. It's in this area that could be removed from you at any time, and you're not being compensated for it, even if you did pay money for it. For example, we were arguing about Steam and the games you own on Steam, and he was concerned that Steam at any point could remove it from you without compensation. The thing with physical anymore is everything has so many downloads and updates. Even with physical, it might as well be digital at this point. Right, because so with okay, a lot of games now, and not saying that games were completely were complete back then. There was a lot of games that were buggy as hell and would never be fixed. It was just this
Yeah.
game sucks. Now, a buggy game has a chance of being fixed. Um, Most of the time, from what I've seen, they take it, but I feel at times companies have relied on that. Thus, they've released a product earlier just to try to be on schedule instead of giving a complete product, relying on that, or extending its release over a period of time. So that way, they only give you a snippet, buying themselves time to release the rest of it. It's been one of my fears with the mini expansions for Guild Wars 2 that I was
Which is
that they were only releasing a little bit at a time,
uh-huh.
and thus they're not giving you much of a product. It's like, hey, I'm gonna give you. You ordered a Big Mac, but I'm just gonna give you the bread first, then the cheese.
I'm gonna
I'm
give you
gonna
the
give you the
bottom bun
bottom bun
first. I'm
first.
gonna
I'm
give you
gonna give you
parts of the
parts of the
hamburger
hamburger
as
Yeah,
we
pretty
go
much.
along with
Yeah,
it.
with it.
yeah. On the flip side, most quality games back then did go through some extensive QA testings and rumors, but that's true. They did, and they still go through QA testing. It's not like it's gone extinct, but a lot more companies have become a lot more confident in releasing an incomplete game and then patching it throughout the year, rather than finishing it up. And I'm just concerned that they're going to get used to that. Um, to remove as many as possible. Now you have even high end releases releasing as buggy messes because they figure they'll just fix it later. That's what I'm concerned about. For example, what was it? That Cyberpunk game was notorious for coming out with tons of bugs because they'll just fix it in post. I mean, and eventually
So
they
many
did.
games do that.
That's the thing. That's the concern is how comfortable companies get with that mindset. And I don't like that
Yep.
philosophy.
I won't pre-order anything anymore.
Right.
I can't. Yeah, I'll get it.
It's not even about
You know.
pre-ordering sometimes. It's like I try not to buy a game on day one.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no. It's
It's
like
gotten
I'm
that
like,
bad.
oh yeah. No, it's like, okay, I'm gonna try not to spoil myself, but check and see how bad the bugs are before I even bother. And once they get all that fixed, then we'll, you know.
Yeah, you watch
And you
the
watch the
reviews.
reviews.
Yeah, that's my
Honestly,
reason.
they charge $60 for a game, and I know
Or
game
70
prices have
now.
gone up, and yeah, yeah, and they charge that much, and you're not even getting a finished product.
Right.
Right.
You're getting a taste. You're getting the bun of the Big Mac.
Yeah, right.
Don't worry, the meat and the cheese will be coming. Here's now the cheese.
Yeah, right.
Don't let the
Oh,
cheese melt.
we're sorry. Don't ignore that little bit of mold on that cheese over there. Just it's nothing.
You know,
Penicillin.
you, you,
It's a feature, not a bug.
It's a feature.
we've heard your complaints. Here's some penicillin to help with the cheese. We're not changing the cheese. We're just patching the cheese.
Relabeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad marketing, obviously, but really, it's what the people are willing to put up with. If
Yeah, and unfortunately, people have been too willing to put up with all that, and that's why it's gotten to this point.
I mean, I really was looking forward to Civ 7. I still am looking forward to Civ 7. I'm just not looking forward to it in its current state right now because I've heard
Right.
so many complaints about it that I'm fine with waiting maybe a year to purchase it, which looks
Yeah.
bad for the company because they're not getting that immediate release, that immediate push for it. And it's hard to know if
Yep.
they're ever going to get that because you may not get that second wind. Another one was No Man's Sky. Really was
Oh yeah.
buggy as heck. And it took them a while before they would get a good working model with what they had promised.
Even The Witcher 3 was a bit of a mess on release.
Then,
It wasn't as bad as many of those, but it had
right,
issues.
right. Then their AI just picks up that you said cheese 57 times and assumes you must love the cheese, and thus they give you even more moldy cheese.
Oh my
Different
goodness.
colors of moldy cheese.
Yep, yep.
No, you're absolutely right,
The
Cranberry. The,
The horse bugs were pretty funny though.
the what?
Roach up there on the horse bugs when you'd call Roach and you're looking around, where's your dang horse that you just called and it's up on the roof, you know?
But it makes you
They got
lose
creepy.
credibility. Like I get that it's funny. I get that it's advertising, you know, but it's negative advertising. And I know some people say that there's no such thing as bad marketing, but there is because it hits your bottom line. Like your next product will get less returns.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we sold horses, not computer programs and stuff, but it's similar things, and we sold horses all over the country with people buying horses from pictures and videos, not even coming out to see these animals, because we always tried to make sure they knew, you're never going to get a perfect something, but we tried to let them know every little quirk, annoying habit, what they did know, what they didn't know. And I mean, people would say the horse isn't that bad. Why did you made it sound like it was terrible? It's like, no, we just want you to know all of this going in, not have a horse shipped, across the country and now you don't like it.
Right. Right.
But and you get a reputation for that.
Right. And that's the more important part. Like, for example, in my marketing class, we're talking about transactional sales versus relationship sales. And a lot more companies are shifting towards relationship sales where you're building a relationship with your customer. You're looking to solve a problem that they have.
Yep.
Instead of just making a sale, because they realize in transactional sales you don't get as many repeat customers. Here
Exactly.
with relationship sales, you're getting repeat customers. You're building a base. You're building credibility.
Yep.
What were you doing, Michelle?
Oh, it's responding to the cookie.
Uh,
It was,
what was Cookie talking about?
He's like,
it's like
it's getting
getting
late.
late.
Oh well, now he has a different thing to look forward to. He has snuggles.
It's snuggle time.
Yep,
Yep.
it's
It's
pillow
pillow
time.
time.
I mean, we still have
He's
customers. I mean, they're boarding now instead of training because we don't do the training anymore. But we have people that we've known for 25 years still with us.
Yeah, that's the benefits of relationship sales is you establish a bigger customer base. And that helps
Yep.
not only your customers because you're fulfilling and you're ensuring that your customers happy with your product and with your own sales, but you're also like establishing profits in the course of it.
Yeah. I
It's what they were saying is like instead of one person wins, one person loses, which is common in transactional sales.
mm-hmm.
It's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
For example, like Michelle spent a lot of time in her youth being a salesperson for her family stuff.
I was the salesperson for the horse stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
but Michelle was originally in what they would call transactional sales. She had a little booth. She would sell their stuff. But without her realizing it, she was shifting it to being relationship sales, where she was bonding with the customer, trying to address what they were looking for, and then solve that with one of the curios that she happened to have.
Yep.
And that was a very good way of doing it. And I think in some ways, without realizing it, she was really ahead of her time.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Kisses.
Well, that's
Kisses.
you know
I mean,
I mean,
essentially,
essentially,
yes, I would
yes,
ask
I would ask
people
people
questions.
questions. Back when,
Hard
hard
sales was
sales
the
was
thing.
the thing,
I'd ask
I'd
people
ask people
questions to figure
questions to
out what
figure
they
out
were
what they
looking
were
for.
looking for.
And that's the thing about transactional sales. You ask, hey, what is it? You try to find out more about the customer, more about their need. And then you try to help address that need. You don't just sell them to something to like sell them something to meet a quota or things like that.
Correct.
That's what we're currently studying, by the way, is transactional sales versus relationship sales and the pros and cons of such. When to use them, when personal sales is a good idea, when it's not a good idea. Um, for example, while Michelle was very cost effective for her parents, working for them over there and selling at a booth, personal sales was not a benefit because it wasn't an expensive item that they were trying to sell. For example, if they were car salesmen, then yeah, Michelle would have been a great investment for that.
Mm-hmm.
Or even vacuum or whatever. Any expensive items are best for people to do personal sales for. Anything
Yep.
complicated is good for
My
personal sales.
my only argument is that, for example, if
I would
I
get
would get
repeat
repeat
customers.
customers,
People would
people
come
would
back
come back
to see
to
me.
see me because
I'd rather
I'd
buy
rather buy
from me
from me
than
than
someplace
someplace
else.
else.
Right, because you're establishing a relationship and a credibility.
Yeah.
You were releasing a complete game, not just an alpha level game, early access game,
Right.
however else you
I
want to
gave
say
I
a
it.
gave a
complete
complete
solution.
solution.
Right, a one stop shop
Yeah.
Yeah.
with customer satisfaction and follow up would be the only thing that I would have recommended afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't
Didn't really
call
call
patients unless
patients
I had
unless I
something
had
for them.
something for them.
Right, but I mean, if your parent, like, I would recommend it for your parents to create a CRM
Uh,
Uh huh.
and then like start staying in touch, building up on that, because that way you continue to kind of build on your own knowledge, because you guys are pretty much starting from scratch almost every single time. A new customer base at a new location sometimes. And it would have helped if you guys already had a built audience that would follow you wherever you were going. But that's hard to do.
Kinda. Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, in some things, yes, I see what you're talking about. In others, it wouldn't be practical. And in some ways, yes, we did. For example, when we had the cart in the malls, we had made our little black book of phone numbers to call whenever we got a new Beanie Baby or collection item that somebody liked. For example, we had two customers who like to collect dogs. Some like to collect cats. Some people like to collect the exclusive.
But in today's market, for example, I would have been like, hey, create an app for your company. And if people like dogs and cats, have them put pictures of their dogs and cats. Have them start
Yes.
getting engaged and build more relationships, not only with you, but establish a community.
Yeah. Now it would be more like have a Facebook page so that way they can talk about, say, Beanie Babies or little stuffed animals.
Right. It puts you more in contact with your consumers.
Yes. But we didn't have that at that time.
Heck, I would do that with your current job, actually, is what I would do. Because you guys are still technically salespeople at that point. Yeah, it's hot leads, not cold leads, because they're pretty much being handed to you. But I think it would be a great way of retainment, recommendation, and then expanding on your. I understand that you guys are more than booked already, but I would use that as an excuse to keep growth up and continue engagement with your current customers.
The company as a whole does have their own, I believe, their own LinkedIn page and their own Facebook page. So they do a lot of
That's
marketing. They
passive
have
advertising. How much are they reaching out? Who are they reaching out? Where are they reaching out?
we do have representatives that go to doctors' offices.
Ah, that's still inefficient because you're going door to door essentially. Are they going to conferences? Are they inviting groups of people over? Like how like again you want to make the most for your time. And knocking metaphorically from door to door is not the most effective use of your time.
Mhm.
Especially in this day and age when we have so much of a resource of digital communication, is just trying to find the right method and the right people. And that takes sitting down and like actually planning it out. But I mean, I I would recommend that for most businesses that are looking to grow.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, that's probably also because I'm currently in a marketing class and I'm seeing its value. I'm sure if I was in my financial management class, I'd be talking about how, managing your budget is really important. It's just, I do see the value of it. I do see how it could benefit. And obviously, uh, if and when I work on my comic book thing, I'll be taking a lot of these lessons and taking note of what I could possibly do to help expand on it. Because, I mean, obviously, you want to succeed in any venture you go into, especially if your money's involved.
Yeah.
But you do what you can, and obviously, creating a new demand is difficult, and establishing something from like pretty much the ground up is difficult, but not impossible. So I am trying to do my homework and research and think about it
Hmm.
while also working on scripting and then art. So it's a balance of being creative and being, I don't know, logical, I guess. I don't know what the opposite of creative is. Mundane? Bland?
When
For a moment there, when he shouted, "Welcome to Harvest Den," I thought it was one of the players shouting that. And I thought it was like, "Welcome to the Battle Dome" or something like that. I feel bad for like the people we're fighting, because how often do they come in here and get treated like chumps? You know what I'm talking about. It feels like wrestling, pro wrestling, where these guys are just poor jobbers.
Just knock them down.
Pretty much, yeah. Barbed veil as an idea, as an example. Sorry. Ah, why are you just pouncing like crazy? Last night I was on YouTube watching video after video of people reacting to listening to Boney M's Rasputin song for the first time. It's a catchy song.
It
It
is.
is.
If you haven't heard it, I'd recommend looking it up. It's actually kind of fun. Very dancey.
Uh-huh.
It's
Yeah,
disco
I'm
esque.
in my head now.
And if you look at the live performance, the lead singer, Boney M, I guess, or that's the name of the group, but the lead singer, woo! Boy, does that guy have energy. I don't know how he dances for so long. I mean, it's probably cocaine, but jeez, I would probably do maybe 2 minutes and I'd be exhausted. But yeah, I saw I think like 5 different groups of people, 5 different channels reacting to it. Ridiculous. I spent way too much time on that.
Oh, interesting.
That's what got me interested in going, huh, what if I had my mom react to some stuff? Then I thought, you know what, instead of just reacting, how about if I just generally just asked her about her culture, lifestyle, and then did some edits, looked up some stuff, made it into an actual video. Because I doubt many people have heard of Bolivia and what it's like over there, and I think that'd be interesting.
That is.
Also, I think for people who are not in touch with my mom very often, like my other siblings, I think it'd be nice for them to watch in case they were ever curious about my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurt so bad.
Good
Good
night.
night.
What?
I am heading to bed.
But meow.
Good night.
I know.
Kitty says
Kitty says
meow.
meow.
Kitty
Kitty
says
says
hey.
hey.
Bedtime.
Exactly.
Exactly.
The way I remember that he's there, or that I realize that he's there in bed, is because he purrs so loud, and he's purring for most of the night, which is nice because I can tell that he's happy about that.
He stops.
Yeah. It's a happy kitty.
Yeah.
He
He
purrs,
purrs and I hear him stop.
Michelle's theory why he was meowing out here at night is that she thinks he was just probably lonely or he felt abandoned.
Yeah, when he's probably trying to work up his nerve to come and join you too, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's clear in hindsight now, is that he was trying to like save up his nerve.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we'd invite him, like he'd still like be scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know.
once it's like Mittens really, he'll sit up there on the bed with me, but he really won't come sit next to me while I'm playing on the computer. I mean, this is a big bench. There's plenty of room for him to sit next to me.
Right.
If I'm not here, he'll sit up here and sleep on this bench. It's not like he doesn't get up here.
Go
I
ahead.
see him on the couch, but if I'm on the couch, he is occasionally hopping up on the couch if I'm there. He just won't stay there and lay with me now. But
Oh.
it's better. But it's like, dude, I share. It's okay.
Cookie doesn't always realize how Michelle is when she's asleep. Sometimes she just
Yeah.
pushes him aside or rolls over disregarding him.
Do it?
Yes, I've seen that twice, which is what makes me laugh. Like he's cuddling up to you, and I guess,
Toss and turn.
yeah, I guess maybe he's stepping on your boob or something, and you don't realize it, but your hand just moves his entire upper body in one sweep of move. It looks like a wave hits him, and he just goes keeling over it, which is what makes me laugh. But I also realize you don't do it meanly. You're also half asleep while doing it.
Right.
He does
Does
come up on me
and he'll
turn around
turn around
and
and
when he lays down, his back is right in my face. So I had
So I
to
had
slide
to
him
slide him
off
off me.
Or another time, like he's laying on you and you don't care, so you turn on your side, and it looks like he's in the open ocean with a large wave trying to hang on for dear life.
I tried
I
to
try to sleep on my side, and he'll come over
he'll
and
lay
he'll lay
over
over
me.
me.
Yeah,
So that way I
Roll back
roll
onto
back
my
onto
back.
my back.
I try to give him room in between us. He refuses and would rather hang on to you for dear life than go on to safety.
Plus,
Then
plus he
sleep
gets
next to Eric,
Eric,
which should be
which should
totally
be totally
safe.
safe.
It's safer than you are. I move a lot less than you do.
He
Mitch
loves
always says to
adventure.
me,
He loves adventure. It's stimulation.
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 I know when I've had a painful night, even if I don't like recall it, because the cat has got nothing left the bed. It's like, okay, screw this. I'm going to sleep somewhere else.
Oh, my
He'll
first
He'll
few
leave, and
I only
I
know when
only
he
know
comes
when he
back to
comes
bed.
back to bed.
my first few times sleeping in the same bed as Michelle took me a bit because I didn't realize how much Michelle moved.
Yeah.
And so and she did not realize it. I had to bring it up there and she was like, "No,
I
really?"
don't know what
I don't
he's
know what he's
talking about.
talking about.
I'm a
I'm
still
still a
sleeper.
sleeper. My
Some of
Sheets
us,
weren't messed
there,
around.
there, there was a time when I could sleep nice and quietly through the night. Now I have to kind of turn around like a rotisserie chicken to get into sleep. So, you know.
I've had those nights too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your night
Your
is
night
all
is all
twisted around
twisted
you.
around you.
You're like, "How'd this
There's just
happen?"
not a comfortable position. Maybe if I turn this way or this way or have my legs
Or
over
roll
here.
over.
Yep. I mean, at least I'm in, sleeping alone because sometimes I'm like desperately sprawled out, doing God knows what, trying to just make my back stretch or whatever.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, like, because I would wake up Michelle and go, "What are you doing?" She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Dude, it's like every 5 minutes on the time. Hey, shift positions, shift positions."
2 minutes shift position.
Hey, hey, Kraskarek, how are you, Kevin? We were having Kevin talk earlier. Michelle's brother wanted to hear your adventures, so I told him about your time when you paralyzed yourself from the neck up.
No, you
No,
didn't.
you
We
didn't.
missed that
You
one.
missed that one.
We missed
You
telling
missed
him
telling
that
him
one.
that one.
How are you? I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad you're okay. You've brought a lot of fascination to a lot of people. You're a unique dude. I hope you're feeling better. I know you went to the doctor for your back. It is good to see you. How was your streaming? How was your game? I think you're playing Enshrouded. If you hear people, you hear Michelle and Wins.
Oh, you want to
Hi.
show me anymore.
Michelle. Michelle's gonna be jumping on. Hellgate London on Fridays. Got it. For some reason, Michelle,
Yeah.
your microphone is picking me up because I could hear myself on your microphone suddenly.
I don't know why.
Is your microphone on? Because you're still on Discord.
Oh, yeah, it is. My bad.
Yeah, Michelle has double voice. And Cran seems
Double voice.
distant. Win seems distant. Cranberry seems distant. Michelle will remember that. If you have a moment tomorrow, Kevin, I'd be happy to have you on. We're gonna do. It's weird to hear myself. Michelle, could you please hang up? This is so weird. Oh, thank God, thank you. Okay. It's that divine possession. Gotta watch out for them. I know, right? Gonna do what? So tomorrow we're streaming Batman: The Enemy Within, which is the sequel to Batman: The Telltale series, which was actually not that bad. I would give it. I keep being cliche and giving good games 82s. So like I I'm gonna say Michelle says 85. I'm gonna say 81 for me. I know Michelle's aghast, but only because it wasn't much of a video game as much as it was a visual novel. Yes, there were action scenes, um, but it was cinematic. Don't get me wrong, there was cool action, and I love that your choices have consequences, but it still felt more like a visual novel than it did an actual game. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for sure. So I'll give it an 82. Michelle gives it an 85. I would still recommend it. One, if you like those type of games. Two, if you like Batman. It's a goddamn Batman game for sure. Now, this second game actually takes place where before the Joker becomes the Joker, and you have a choice of helping him lead one way or the other. So you could help him not become a homicidal maniac, or your actions can forge him to go down that path, which is really cool. We're going to be streaming tomorrow, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time till 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. And the action actually in the first game was really cool. It's remember I had you playing The Wolf Among Us. Um, so like you have quick time events that you have to do within certain moments, which is cool. I love the time sensitivity of it. I love that there's a time sensitive window for your options that adds to like the pressure because otherwise like I am so detached from games that I don't feel immersed. And so that time sensitivity really brings it in for me and actually pulls me back in so I feel the pressure in the moment, which I like. I really do like. I like the Telltale series. I think they did a great job. In fact, Cranberry actually recommended The Walking Dead on it, and I've never seen the show. I was never attracted to the show. I never read the comic book, but since I like the Telltale series so much, and Cranberry had so many good things to say about it, I I bought it. And so after the Batman game, we're gonna play that before we finally play Stray.
Yay!
I'm looking forward to it. I really am. It causes anxiety. I like well for me it adds. So all right, I was reading a book on my last work where we were talking about stress versus pressure, and they were saying pressure is good, stress is not. You should have pressure. Oh, how cool! Stray looks interesting. Yeah, so we're gonna play the Batman game, The Enemy Within, and then after that we're gonna do the Walking Dead Telltale series, and then which I'm going into completely blind. I don't even. I just know that there's zombies in it, and you're a group of survivors, I guess. But beyond that, I don't know much about it. And then after that, we're going to go into Stray for Saturdays. I'm not a big person on zombie games, but I love good stories and I love character-driven stories. It's a zombie survival drama. Yeah, that's why it never caught my interest. But I'm a sucker for great character writing. I'm a sucker for great stories, all in all. So I'm willing to give it a shot. Also, it was on sale. So what am I really complaining about? Um, So yeah, I mean, all in all, I really did like the Batman game a lot. I love the choices. I loved comparing what choices I made versus what Michelle made. And I love that some of your choices in the first game are going to carry over into the second game. It's good to go in blind too. It gets more authentic experience. I think so, and I think it gives more of an authentic experience for the audience because if you guys have played it, you guys know what's coming up, and you guys will see a genuine reaction, not just something that I'm faking or pretending for the time. Um, it's a lot easier, and I like it. But I'll also be honest. If I played the game already, I'll be upfront about it. Usually in those moments, I try to have Michelle play it because I'm kind of I would rather see her reactions. I'm kind of dozing off here. No worries, Cranberry. You've had a heck of a week. I am so happy you're on your vacation. Enjoy your 2 weeks off, definitely. And we'll see you when we see you. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow for Batman. And if not, hey, enjoy your time. I look forward to all your cool pictures. And best of luck with your mom. I hope Cranberry Mama Palooza ends up going well. I hope you survive this one. Have a good night, Cranberry. Mojasumi. Michelle's also going to
Night,
bed.
Cranberry. Night, Michelle.
Good night, Michelle. Thank you for coming on. Always appreciate you having you on here, and you stayed on a lot later than I expected. But yeah, Krask, on so for our Nintendo challenge, we're currently playing Dragon Warrior 4. After that, we have Rescue Rangers, and then our last game is going to be a replay of Super Mario Brothers 1 because Michelle wanted to play that one last time. Before we move on to the Sega Genesis, which I know very little about because I grew up a Nintendo kid and not a Sega kid. But Michelle played, I think, a few more Genesis games than I did. I could probably name the handful of Genesis games I've played, which are Sonic, Joe Montana's Football, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, which was effing awesome. Um, uh, oh my God, Shining Force, which was amazing and really blew my mind. Um, I think that's it. I think that's. I've seen some Fantasy Star played. Oh, no, I didn't play Altered Beast on the Genesis. I played it in arcades. Star Fox was Super Nintendo, unless it crossed over to Genesis, but I don't think it did. Star Fox is actually one of Cranberry's favorite series. No, it's not exactly the same on Genesis. The graphics are way toned down. I saw it side to side. Whew, different, very different. Oh, and the original game, Kid Chameleon. You know what? I'm gonna write that down. Thank you for the recommendation. I
Different
actually,
good or different bad?
I'm sorry.
Different good or different bad?
What do you mean different?
You said they were the graphics
Oh yeah,
weren't great.
the Genesis one was not as good as the arcade from what I saw.
Ah, okay.
So in that case, different bad. Kid Chameleon.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I got on the list here so far, and it's not in any order yet, but Golden Axe, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, Shining Force 1 and 2, Shinobi 2 and 3, we're skipping one, Streets of Rage 2 and 3, again, we're skipping one, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Altered Beast, Spider Man Maximum Carnage, and now Kid Chameleon. I don't think Sonic 4 was on the Genesis because I'm looking at my list right now, but maybe.
I've never had a Genesis, so I'm no help there.
Oh, Sonic 4 is Sonic and Knuckles? You know what? I'm gonna write that down. Just because you brought it up, I'd be happy to take your recommendation, Krask. Your opinion matters, at least to me. Let me write Sonic and Knuckles. Where is it? Boop.
I was the Atari and Nintendo person.
Wow. I came in at the tail end of Atari, um, because my mom found it at a swap meet.
It was a big deal. Dad got it when we were kids, and it wasn't Pong. There was more games than that at this point, but they were all very blocky blocky. I mean, the graphics that we have now, and looking back at the stuff that we're imagining are race cars that we're driving around in
Right,
Indy 500 and stuff. It's like, oh my
right.
god.
I had an Atari too. I had Joust and Pong. I remember Pitfall. Pitfall for me was a game changer.
Never played Pitfall. We had
Right, Michelle?
Indy 500. Indy 500 was a favorite. Space
Yeah.
Combat.
Space
Um,
Invaders.
yeah.
I remember that.
Outlaw, which
I
was a cowboy game.
There was a karate game called Karateka. Like blew my mind. ET. I never played
Outlaw.
ET. Oh no, I did not play ET. I played Superman. That was actually one of my favorite games on it. I had no
Outlaw
idea
was
what I was doing.
fun. You'd shoot your opponent, and they just end up sitting down, and the sound it made sounded like they farted. And it's like, okay,
That's
that's what
amusing.
happens when you shoot somebody. Okay.
Well, they had a limited amount of soundboard, what they can do.
Oh, I know, I know. I mean, it was very, very limited back when I played the Atari. I mean, ours was the original. People always ask me, "Oh, 2600." No, this was just Atari. This was
Before they put numbers on it, it was
yep,
pre numbers.
pre-numbers. Pre-numbers.
Wow. Back in my day, we didn't
I
have a
know it was.
PlayStation 2. We just had PlayStation. Like, nobody thought about numbers. How
I
dare
know.
they
You
call it
one.
2600? We're talking OG Atari. Michelle,
Yep.
back in the day, we had physical cartridges.
Oh yeah. You had to blow in them all the time.
And even they recommended not to do it on the actual owner's manual. Nobody
Oh, I
fucking
know.
listened to that,
I mean, when it stops working, what are you gonna do?
right? We had dirt and rocks, and we liked it.
Right.
See, I don't remember much about the Atari because again, we got it towards the tail end. Um, my grandma actually bought me the Nintendo because my mom didn't want to do so, but I was my grandma's favorite, and so she did. But my mom took it and said it's not mine, even though it was gifted to me. It's our family, so I had to share it with my siblings, which was
Right.
difficult. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, I didn't have much of a choice. I didn't have an argument. It wasn't a democracy. It was a fascist government with one lady at the top.
The Nintendo I got was, I think that was before numbers too, but it's that I got myself as an adult,
Really?
and so it was mine. It was one of those, they were changing probably to the different things, and so it was cheaper to get that one at that point, and so I got that, and there was plenty of games you can play on it. But I still had that over at my old RV. I hadn't taken it out for years because I didn't have a TV. I should have brought it over here. I could have seen if it still worked.
Well, the first system I ever bought myself as an adult with my own money was the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Because I remember I had told everyone that had asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I told them PlayStation, PlayStation, PlayStation. And I remember we had a party over at the park, and everybody had given their presents. And I remember I opened the last one, and none of them were PlayStation. But I wanted to be
Oh,
polite, and I was like, "Hey, so are we good? Is this the last of the presents? All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Let's eat. Let's eat the food that we had." And then I told my mom, "Hey, I'll be right back." And then I remember I took my cousin with me, and I'm like, "Hey, go with me." And we went over to Circuit City back when they had those.
right.
I walked in and with cash bought my first PlayStation and walked back, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so awesome!" I remember I'd
Happy
gotten
birthday to me.
right. I had gotten the Game Day with me, and I loved it. It was the first time I had broken away from Nintendo because I had this Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, and those defined a lot of my video gaming moments. And then for me, my identity as a gamer. And so it was difficult for me to shift over to the PlayStation, but gotta tell you, Final Fantasy VII made it a lot easier on that shift.
I'm not sure if I've ever played on a PlayStation. Surely I have.
I don't, maybe? I mean, I
I'm
it
not sure.
if the
I know I played Final Fantasy X. I played Final Fantasy 12. Were those on Nintendo?
those were on PlayStation 2.
Okay, so then I did have a PlayStation at some point.
You had the well, 10 was PlayStation 2,
Okay,
not the first PlayStation.
right, right. No, and I'm sure again it was I bought it as a, you know, I think that's the one I still have over at the RV.
I like the
But
PlayStation
it was
2.
one of those. Yeah, it was one that I, play it got myself, and it was, not the thing, but it was still something that had plenty of games on it. So go
Right.
ahead, man.
PlayStation 1 Legacy of Kain. I owned that game actually. I enjoyed it a lot. I was very impressed with it, even though it surprised me. I don't remember how I got it. I didn't choose to buy it. I must have gotten it as like as a handful of games that were on sale or whatever, or was on wholesale or whatever it was. But I enjoyed it a lot. I never played uh, Soul Reaver, but I wanted to. I'm not kidding. You guys should definitely try Legacy of Kain and Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. Uh, Hello. Yes, yes, I am, Wins. If you want to join on, in fact, you're already on. Boop.
Yep, yep.
Thank you for coming on board. Um, Let me see if they remade it, and if they did, how the graphics are. I would love to try it again. I love the idea of the first Legacy again. The play style was very much different and cool, and I love the concept of Soul Reaver. I just never got around to it. The graphics are a bit painful, but yeah, I hope that they remade it. Because I really playing Valheim made me realize I do not like PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 uh, graphics. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Which is funny because for my friends Steve and Alex, it actually they like that's one of their big things that they enjoy about it is the nostalgia of those graphics. But like I don't
Yeah.
get nostalgia from it. I don't know apprehension. Like I don't know what it is. I just don't like it. Like
I
imagine
mean,
some food that you don't like and then being fed it.
right.
Like you're hungry, sure you'll eat, but it's not your favorite food, nor would you prefer it.
It's kind of like the people that go for WoW Classic there. It's kind of like, you don't remember you didn't like this before? That's why they changed things.
Yeah, I mean, but like for me, it would be nostalgia because that's all I played. I played only vanilla WoW, because I remember I stopped playing when they released the first expansion, so I never actually saw anything past that.
Ah,
Legacy of King Soul Reaver's third person game. Oh yeah, no, I that's what I loved about it. I think I know Legacy of King the first one was overhead view actually, which was different. And also when I was playing it, I was a big fan of vampires at the time. So it all kind of was the perfect timing.
we all go through a vampire phase,
A
don't
little goth phase. I
we? Right.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Let's see, I'm gonna stop over here, get my box art
Very
done.
much. I'll see if I can find it on Steam, Krask. Um, I'll let you know if we do. I love taking requests from people and suggestions. That's one of the reasons why we're going to be playing Walking Dead. That's one of the reasons why we're going to be playing Stray, by the way. Because I actually had it on my wish list for a while, and then for some reason, I don't recall why, I took it off my wish list, and I was okay with not playing it anymore. But then Wiz talked it up really, really well. So, and then it was on sale, so it was really hard for me to argue about it. So I decided to put it back on and put it on Saturdays because Saturdays is when I play one of the games that I want selfishly, and Michelle gets to be an audience or my guide, and
There
th-
you go.
and I'm really happy that she's been willing to do that. Uh, I don't know why, but it's one of the things that like I actually enjoy is playing with her watching. But I also know that
Yeah.
that's so boring at times. So I try to make it interesting and exciting and get her involved, obviously. But I do enjoy it. even though she's just being an audience going, ooh, ah, or stop bumping into things.
That's okay.
What are you doing? Why are you making that choice? How dare you be mean to Alfred? You need to forgive Alfred. Oh my god, are you still being mad at Alfred? But I
Stop
enjoy it,
breaking the boat.
right?
Stop breaking the boat.
And I do try to remember and keep in mind I asked for this. Like any her feedback is important, and her being there does mean a lot to me. And so
Yeah.
trying to remember why I did it helps me kind of take it with a good take it with the positive spin instead of
Yeah.
just being grumpy or grouchy about it or annoyed about it. Michelle is the best. Michelle's the best gamer wingman. Gets you more invested in games. Sometimes, but sometimes it is difficult. Sometimes either I'm not helping her engage with it, or the game isn't as dynamic, and so I look over and Michelle, and so I, it's you have to always be on, especially when you're on camera.
Yeah.
Um, and so sometimes that can be a bit much, and I don't behoove her that. I understand. I mean, to be honest, like if I was in her shoes, I would also find it difficult. So knowing that, I try to do what I can to help make it exciting and interesting for her, and remind myself I'm not playing for me, even though it's the game that I picked out. I'm playing for her and for you guys as well. So that's why, like, if it's an RPG, I try to make sure that I grind for XP outside of the stream, you know? That way I'm a little bit more prepared during stream instead of having you guys watch me grind for XP because that's not exciting. Like even here, doing these convergences and this heart quest over and over and over again, not very exciting. But having discussions with you guys, talking about the Nintendo, the Atari, our own backgrounds, suggestions for games, like that helps keep engagement and helps keep it interesting.
And we're in between patches, so it's kind of a slow time in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Wiser. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Uh, did you want to switch maps, Wins?
I what time is it? Yeah, I guess we can.
Okay.
Mhm.
But it's important. You got to realize that no matter, like, and maybe that's why I don't get immersed in games or drawn into games very often, is because I'm constantly thinking that I'm doing it as a performance. I'm doing it with people. It's not just for me. Um,
Yeah.
and so maybe that's why I'm not as immersed. But like to be honest, even if I was playing off camera, I also don't have that immersion. I don't feel most of the time I don't feel attached, which is why I really enjoyed it like in Batman and in The Wolf Among Us, that there are moments where I kind of feel something. I kind of
Yeah.
feel a bit invested, and so like for me, I want to kind of identify what that is and then try to bring that out more and more because that is exciting. That is for me is interesting, and, and and I hope that because I'm excited, that it also gets interesting for the viewers, exciting for you guys as well. I know excitement and anticipation can be infectious. Michelle is amazing at that. When Michelle lights up and is energized and amazing, the whole room lights up. Hello, Sean. Hey, Convergence is about to start. Did you want to join us? I could send you an invite. You are locking on, sir. I will send you an invite. Ooh. How are you, Shun? How's everything going on? Are you getting enough rest, sir? Are you getting enough water? Well, Shun was studying for his math qualification score. Stressed and not enough sleep or water. That's what I'm concerned about, Shun. Take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you won't be able to take care of other people, people that rely on you. Do take a moment to breathe, drink water, sleep. And these are easier said than done, to be honest. I've lost track of time just drawing a picture. I know, so many papers are right, and I tend to overthink things. I completely understand. I know Kraska is the same way. He overthinks a lot of things. I joke with him of, hey man, just Just don't think, just do. That lizard brain of yours, just go. And sometimes when he doesn't think, he does amazing. Because we tend to like hinder ourselves sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Thinking is important. You should think of what you do and what you say. But there has to be a reasonable amount. And that's different per situation and per individual. I overthink these topics right now. Statement. Why do you believe you should be awarded a college or business scholarship for the coming semester? Because I feel that I'm in a position where I need to excel. I am the breadwinner for my family. My family needs this. My new family that I'm bringing out here, my young child is here. I am the first of my generation to try to break into college, and I have a lot of expectations that I want to fulfill. I want to be able to help inspire other people and do the best job that I can. And I feel in this case, your money can help me accomplish this goal. Describe your career goals, work experience, extracurricular activities, and demonstrate leadership. Well, so my career goals is to try to have a steady job that can help provide for my family and give me a sense of fulfillment. I feel a career in the accounting industry. Yeah, no, they are difficult topics, Shun, for sure. But I also love answering questions. Um, but you're right. None of these are easy questions. These are all very, very difficult, and especially like that one, the last one, 200 to 750 words. Do you understand how little that is? Like that is like so concise. That's probably a page. That is so difficult. But what's even the question? Let's see here. Why do you think the insurance and financial services sector is important? And describe your career plans. Please be aware that strong emphasis is placed on this section of the application by the selection committee. That is because they're going to hear lots of things. They're going to hear a lot of people. Like, you got to stand out of the crowd. So you can't give a canned response. Everybody's going to likely say it is good. Why? Because it helps people. Fine. They're not wrong. It does. But you need to have a specific perspective that helps you stand out from the crowd. What is your take, your unique take? Like, I keep telling that to Krask all the time. We're talking about streaming, we're talking about ideas, and what I keep telling him is, hey man, what makes you, what makes your channel unique is you. There's 500 other people playing the same games you're playing, and they're playing it their own way. So like, it's not the game necessarily, though the game will bring in people for sure. It's more what keeps people is you. What are you bringing to this? How are you helping stand out and be unique? I plan on typing them tomorrow and then having my sister read over it. Very smart. I would always recommend having other people read it because that way you get out of your own head. It's difficult to edit your own work. Believe you me, I've done it, and I have someone else read it after I've gone over it 3 times and I think it's perfect, and I realize like maybe the first 2 sentences I've already lost them. So like you tend to oversee things sometimes. Very, very smart. But do try to pace yourself. Do try to take care of yourself because it adds up. It adds up, and oof, it gets difficult. Um, yeah, my grandma used to have a saying of "make time for time," and I was like, "What the hell does that even mean?" But I guess it kind of means is try to be organized, which is difficult. The third topic is a fun one as well. What was you gave me a lot of them very quickly. One, two, three. Provide an essay addressing the following. It may be business, but character still counts. Or capitalism without character is chaos. Be as complete as possible. 200 to 500 words. Shut up. Write half a page on this. Really? Dude, I could go into like 5 to 7 pages on it. That is tough. See, I would rather write, if I was given a choice on either one of those, I would probably choose the second one. Capitalism without character is chaos. Only because my personal opinion is I think capitalism is a great transactional type of relationship that helps encourage um, the reliance on others into your world. Meaning that it encourages cooperation for the sake of accomplishing a goal in some ways. Yes, it gives incentives, but there needs to be some type of ethics with it. It's open, public, click. I feel like I'm Cranberry trying to buy a Switch 2. Hurry up, click, click,
I know,
refresh,
right?
refresh the page. Uh-oh, Shun. I hope you got in.
Oh,
I see him in a little
I'm
black
loading.
profile.
I don't know if I'm
You
with you or not.
you are in with me. I
Okay.
I don't know about Shun.
Uh-oh.
We may be the overflow. I see 29 ready
Okay.
to go.
31.
I know.
That's okay. I think that's enough people. And we're okay.
I clicked the wrong one, so I'm in the overflow. No, Shun, why? Right click on my profile. Be on standby. Maybe you'll join soon. But yeah, I think capitalism. I think many economic forms have a factor of corruption that needs to be accounted for, and in that case, I think capitalism needs to have some sort of checks and balances to it. Um, in this case, character or a core form of ethics. Otherwise, it gets corrupted very easily and very quickly. And I think that that is a very important thing. And I think I could go on a 5 to 7 page essay on that. It'll be so fun to type, but yes. In fact, my last class, business writing class, was so difficult because it was limitation of space. Like I've gotten so used to writing 5 to 7 pages that it was difficult to just condense something in one page. It was difficult to
Reminds
condense.
me that people don't want to read all that.
Right, because you're doing executive summaries, and executives
Yeah.
don't effing care. So, but still, you need to convince them. Yay, she joined.
Yay.
But they still need to know what's going on and approve the decision. Congratulations, you made it. Yay. And so you need to summarize your 20-page paper into pretty much one page where you're giving the main points, also being convincing, and yet being concise. And that's so difficult. It was a different take. I wasn't expecting that. But I mean, I enjoyed it. I got an A in the class. It was, you just had to shift your perspective. And that was something that I wasn't used to. I was kicking myself in the butt thinking, oh man, I should have invited Kevin into our group. But Kevin doesn't have the John Thier expansion, so he
Oh,
wouldn't have been able to join us. Like Michelle has Secrets of the Obscure, so
right.
that's why it was great to have her on, even though she's not that far in the game. My problem is for the first one, I don't know how much I should say about my situation, or how little I should say. Shun, what I would say would be at least do 1/3 of the paper on your situation because that's what makes you unique. You want to pull, you need to make an emotional appeal. Because all these people know is just this black and white paper that's there. You're not there in person. So they need to find a way to kind of associate with you to want to give this to you. Because really this feels more like an appeal to emotion than it is to reason. You're not trying to give them facts because what facts really are there? You're a person in need, just like the 5,000 other people applying. That there aren't any facts that help kind of convince that. And in this way, I think you have to lean into the emotional. And the way you do emotional is by establishing a sympathy with you, with your unique situation. And so that's why I would make that at least a third of your paper. I wouldn't go more than half because at that point, I think you kind of lose the point of what they're looking for. I think they want a combination of answering the question while also wanting to be appealed by emotion. I think answering the question should be the bulk, and I would make that half, if not 2/3 of the paper. But I would make at least a third about your unique situation. Because I generally think that like you could really use that. I mean, really, for me, for the scholarships, I was writing about going back to school at an older age. Something I didn't expect, something I didn't think. I also talked about wanting to give more value as an employee to the companies that I work with. And then getting actually quoting people like the vice president of my company or the CFO of our company, and then talking about like what I could do there, what their path was, and so that gives me a little bit more of that. Again, it paints my unique situation. I talked about being a first generation American. I mean, not technically. Like my dad is Puerto Rican, and Puerto Rico has American citizenship. So really, I'm not first generation. My dad technically is, but I am the first United States American citizen.
Computer doing something.
And also like the value that my mom placed on education and how education really can be the great equalizer. Because really, again, you're talking about your particular situation. Really, that's the only way to kind of differentiate you from the other candidates. And in some ways, it is kind of how we identify with each other. You know, like for me, if I see horses, I think of winds. Well, now also, if I see Darkwing Duck, I also think of winds.
Oh, what's the story behind Darkwing Duck?
Oh, hello, Shun.
Hi.
Did go ahead. Winds, it's your story.
I used to work at Disneyland. I was all the short characters, and that was one of my favorite ones to play.
Oh, nice.
Now, Michelle had an annual Disney pass for about, I think, I may be exaggerating, but maybe about 5 years. And she used to go there all the effing time. I was not a big,
Nice.
I was not a big fan of Disney, um, which is probably one of like the strikes I had against me with Michelle. But like I was just like being an artist and hearing all the nightmare stories from different people of how Disney
Oh yeah.
exploits their artists and they treat them very badly and this and that. It just didn't give me a very favorable opinion. And I didn't really grow up a Disney kid, so like I didn't have anything else to fall back on.
Yeah, my wife's obsessed with Disney. She loves Disney.
Yeah, I mean if Disney annual passes were a bit more economical, and if I was a bigger fan of Disney, Michelle would still have an annual pass. Totally
Yeah.
guaranteed.
Yeah, we don't live close enough for that. Thank goodness.
We do. I used to live 2 blocks from Disneyland. And so, like, it was my own studio apartment, so I told Michelle, just park at my place, and we'll walk over. And we would walk over 2 blocks and walk right in.
That's fun.
Yeah, I used to live over at the Anaheim resort area.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
it,
I'm more of a cruise person, is what I am.
I have never been on a cruise, but I've really been considering it lately. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I've never been on a cruise, but I've really been itching to try one.
Yeah. No, it really depends on which one you're looking at too, because each one kind of has their own different themes, kind of thing.
Okay.
Like Norwegian, I went on that one, and they have Park West, have an art gallery there. They
Ooh.
usually do art auctions during the day,
Ooh.
and so that one's kind of fun in that sense. At least it was on the one that I was on that they do that.
Yeah.
I've never been on a carnival. My parents have.
Oh, come on,
Um,
Frontier, don't do this.
but that's one of the more, I'd say, more basic ones that you see a lot of people do.
I think I did a paper
And
on Carnival Cruise Line. I had to do an investigation on how they managed to get through COVID.
yeah,
And the bigger thing was on how it impacted the cruise line industry, and then specifically a case study on Carnival Cruise Line and how they got through it.
nice.
And fascinating, fascinating. And like when I was in between jobs, it actually helped me kind of come up with a plan for it, and surprisingly, actually worked very well taking their methods.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, when I was on Norwegian, it was right when like the first week of them allowing cruises again from COVID.
How was it those
And
first few
so
weeks?
it was interesting because I've been on cruises before, and it was for a ship that could have 1,200 people on it. There was only 300 people.
So you guys had a lot more space.
It was space. You could we had choices of so many things, the free upgrades, and on and on and on, and just because a lot of time you have to sign up for things before they fill up,
Right.
you weren't really as pressured to do that.
Right, because they're
So
trying to get people back, and so there's a lot of, um, I guess, incentives.
yes, um, and then and then funny enough, the cruise line I've been on the most is actually Disney.
Really.
But that's because my parents, with having all the kids they had, that was the most family friendly one, even though it was for for essentially if you're not a millionaire going for those extremely expensive fancy cruises,
Uh-huh.
that's going to be the most expensive just generic cruise line is Disney.
But was it worth it in your opinion?
If you have kids and you're and it's very worth it, or if you are both very much Disney junkies, then it can be fun.
Okay.
Um, but if both of you aren't and there's no kids, then it's like you're just surrounded by mascots and Disney themes and stuff like that. Now, it is kind of fun eating at the themed um, restaurants on board because usually you have the all you can eat buffets, you have the generic restaurants that you can go to any in the night and for lunch and all that stuff, and then you have paid restaurants.
Okay.
But Disney has a decent amount of alternate restaurants that you are assigned to go to certain nights, or you can pay for their specialty dining places.
Okay.
All in all, good experience. Their private islands are really good because since Disney has so much money, they're able to make really nice facilities on their private island.
Every time I hear private island now, all I think is Epstein Island.
I know, right?
Like,
Unfortunately,
right?
I know it's the world. It's always been crazy. It's just now becoming more transparent in some ways.
Right.
Not in all the ways, but some ways, yes.
Right. Kevin and I were talking about it. He was talking about how like it's worse than it's ever been, and I'm like, no, we're just a bit more informed than we've ever been.
Yeah, we're more aware. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been pretty bad, but it was just easier to cover up.
Yes.
Yeah.
With social media and phones, it's become a lot harder for them to not have a trail of dirt around following them. More
Oh
quickly.
yeah,
Because it was always there, but the person sweeping it up was a lot easier to do.
right.
But now it's just a mountain following them behind.
Yeah, that
Like,
that that's tough.
I know, because now you can track people's jets.
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can. You can access flight logs, and you can also
And
get cell phone tower pings.
and sometimes
On
people do the effort
yeah.
for you and just tag themselves on social media.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, right.
Some people are just so bad at hiding it that they're just incompetent.
Sometimes they CC editors of large newspapers onto their chat thread.
Yeah, really.
You know, like, dude, you could not plan for this incompetency.
No, that's
Like,
the hard thing, though.
if I would have written this, people would be like, "That's unrealistic."
I mean, let's be honest. The smartest people
The
are
best
usually the
people,
ones in charge.
the best
Or
people should.
yeah, that too.
Oh Lord.
That's just. I don't know.
Oh man. If I was gonna start going on a cruise, and it was my first time ever, and we didn't have kids, what line would you recommend?
I think you might like Norwegian. It
Okay.
also depends on where you're going, because I don't know, because you said you drank in the past and stuff like that. And I don't know if you still do so much.
My
I'll
doctor
have.
would like me not drink very much.
Mhm.
Um, so I haven't really been drinking too much. But then again, I was never like a raging alcohol person. It was
Yeah.
just for social events or um, really or to like celebrate or for example, oh hey, we're gonna watch WrestleMania. You know what? I think I would like to be drunk for this.
Yeah.
Like that type of situation. It was never a oh man, I've had a long day. I should have a drink. Never really felt that. Or I'm at a party. I should have a drink. Or I'm going to be in a crowd full of people that I don't like talking or being in large groups of people. Let me have a few drinks to kind of take the edge off.
Frontier's gonna kill me.
Oh no.
Yes, my Frontier.
But
Uh,
because I
So
don't drink, but they've got good options there for their on deck bar and then the one underneath. If you like to drink, I personally don't. They've
let
got that
let's
parka.
just let's assume that Michelle was going to be being the liaison for my doctor and giving me stern looks if I have too many drinks. But maybe
Yeah.
one drink a day would be fine.
Hmm. So it depends on at the time, because there'll be different deals and offers for every cruise line company, as it always is.
Okay.
So there's drink packages where you can essentially almost have all you can drink drinks kind of thing for alcohol,
That would be
which is
amazing if my doctor wasn't up my ass about it.
I know. Otherwise, you'd have to be paying per drink.
Okay.
I mean, like because when if you're going to be drinking a lot, and I mean a lot, then sometimes those drink packages are worth it.
Oh,
If it's
definitely.
on it, if it's on a deal, then it's even more worth it for people that like alcohol.
Right.
Otherwise, if you just want to do it here and there, you can just buy a drink here and there.
That's probably what
And
I'll end up
then
doing.
because a lot of times what they'll do is they'll have multiple different promotions or offers at the time for bonuses. So you kind of have to choose. Oh, do I want a reduced price for my the person that's with me, or do I want a free airfare there, or do I want the drink
Oh
package for
no.
reduced price, or on and on, things like that.
Okay.
And then and then having that art gallery is kind of fun. It just
I
really
love
depends on
art.
which artists are being promoted at the time, because
Okay.
sometimes I'm just like, I don't really care for that art, and others are just like, oh, it's awesome, and I wish I had more money to buy it at the
Okay.
auction. We did buy a piece of art at the auction, and then, funny enough, at the auction, they do like kind of this raffle that you get entries just for being there.
Oh,
And
okay.
the one I was wanting to get was like 60% off one of the, like a $2,000 piece of art, and that they were giving away to one person. I ended up winning the $800 bottle of champagne.
Wow.
I don't even drink, so we ended up finding a couple that looked like they got married as well as us, and we're like, well, we don't really drink. Would you like this?
Wait, you're on your honeymoon?
Yep.
Oh, very cool. Any luck
Yep.
getting back wins? Wins?
Says it again.
I said the world is full.
Oh no. Just go on standby. You'll get here.
It's not letting me go into a.
Yeah, once you get past a certain point, I don't think they let you do standbys anymore.
No, Frontier. Why?
I hate Frontier.
You should
I
have.
can't even go. I can't even go into the like a public instance. Even I can't even go into a different one.
Yeah, we've gone too
Oh.
far.
Yeah, past the point of re-entry, unfortunately.
No.
I wish they would hold your spot and then let you
I
come
know,
back in
right?
if you crash like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Some of us have really crappy internet.
You
Yeah.
do. You're like Katy Perry that never really went to space, but touched it with her toe. I feels for you, Wins. I feels for you.
Oh,
To me, you went to space.
Right.
you went to space but didn't come back.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Got left behind there.
In my marketing class, we were talking about the Wendy's uh, tweet about you guys can keep her.
Oh yeah.
Well, we were talking about social marketing and then the different ways that brands can kind of uh, promote themselves or not promote themselves and trying to stay relevant.
Or try to promote themselves, but it backfires massively.
Yes. No, no, no.
Um,
But
but yeah, no.
it is interesting
Sorry.
being in my marketing class. I did not expect it to be as complicated, as layered, or have as many rules as they have.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be an easy class just talking about persuasion, but nope. I'll keep that in mind. I'll check out Norwegian lines and I'll see like where they go. Um,
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe Baja. That'd be interesting and cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because honestly, they go to the Caribbean, Bahamas. They go to Norway. They go Hawaii. I think they might even have an Alaskan cruise. So
I would like an
they do
Alaskan
have
cruise. That sounds really cool.
they do have a good variety. We went to the Caribbean for ours, but
Ooh, my dad's from the Caribbean, Puerto Rico.
nice. Um, but yeah, no, for what we were paying and all that, the food was good. It was you could they always have the all you can eat one that you could just go and get, and then the specialty ones, the one that we went, because we went to I think two specialty out of their seven specialty restaurants that you have to pay for, because all the other ones are in your actual initial cost,
Okay.
the all you can eat kind of ones, but the specialty ones you have to pay out of pocket for their fancy meals. So it's at like a regular restaurant, you pay $50 for blah blah blah, or $20, or on and on.
Okay.
But those ones were actually good. The ones we went to, the art was nice. We didn't get to experience their private island, unfortunately, because rough weather. We got rerouted to Freeport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we didn't end up being able to do that. But you can also do excursions, and yeah, it's all fun.
Well, also another problem is we have such a limited window to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because working in accounting, I have to clear up the last week of a month and the first week of a month for month end. So I really only have the middle of the month, kind of. Michelle has customers that she sees, well, not customer, patients that she sees booked 2 months in advance. So she needs to give notice. So even then, like at best, we might get a week off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like there's 4 day all the way up to like 14-day cruises. So
I
you
w-
essentially just need to plan it, because some will, depending on which way you're going, will leave from Seattle or California, and then if you're going Caribbean and stuff like that, then it's going to be Florida or Texas kind of thing.
right. That's my only hang up about going over to the Caribbean is we would have to get a plane flight to go over to Florida to then be able to go over there. And at that point, why aren't we just flying out to the Caribbean?
Yeah. But that's kind of the nice thing about the cruise, though, is that you get to stop at multiple different locations on the way through. You know.
Yeah, and you have like a buffet on the way over there. You have comfy seats,
Yep.
awesome entertainment.
And then if you want to pay for it, you can get massages, and then
That'd be
you know
cool.
different activities and things like that.
Which is funny because normally, like, I don't like personal massages, but if it's a stranger, I'm fine with that, I guess.
A trained professional.
I mean, I guess it doesn't even have to be a trained professional. Like, I think a stranger is fine. Like, I was fine with lap dances, but I was not cool with like massages from like girlfriends.
Yeah.
Really, really weird. Like, I'm sure there's more to it, but I just always found that entertaining. Not entertaining, but interesting.
Yeah. No, I have to say the weirdest massage I've ever got was actually in the Philippines. And it wasn't
Really?
like weird as in abnormal. It was just my first one as a high
Oh,
schooler on a beach.
oh.
And it was just weird to me.
I mean, at least it
So,
wasn't like in public in the mall, you know?
yeah.
Because that also would have been
But
weird.
yeah, I was just like, I'm not used to this.
See, the thing is it's funny because like I am more likely to go on a spa day than Michelle. But I like doing stuff like that. I'm also more likely to go to a museum or an art walk.
Yeah, then you'll probably like the art.
I really would, actually.
So yeah, maybe Norwegian is the one that would be a good first attempt. But always do your research first.
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
I find that if you can book it many months in advance,
Uh-huh.
then sometimes you can get even better deals. Sometimes
Well, we would have to book
because
it many months in advance because of our line of work. But
yeah,
Michelle loves deals, and so you're speaking her language.
yeah, because sometimes it's the initial one, and if it doesn't fill up after a certain amount of time, then they start offering you more deals. Or sometimes if you just they'll just say, hey, we're this is the slow season, so we're going to offer an additional 20% off. Or, I'm not saying that's the actual thing,
Right, 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 right.
but just I learned from my mother, um, shopping around and planning out and all that stuff.
Right.
And so she's very smart when it comes to that. And
Well, that's good.
she once planned a cruise like a year and a half in advance for the whole family.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Ah, what the
She's.
hell? I'm so dead because I got no condition cleanse. Don't be like me, kids. Don't be like me.
Yeah, your pocket healer got knocked offline, so
Yeah, by Frontier. How dare they?
I know.
that's the
She's
true villain.
the true final boss.
Right?
Yeah.
Uh, I only
I
need.
Yeah.
I suppose I should have, done it on my mobile, but I've been on Star Wars and hadn't crashed all evening,
You
so by now
got
it's Saturday
cocky.
day.
You
I
got cocky. That's the dark side.
yeah. I think part of the problem is that with the way it goes up and down, the amount of activity that's in one of those convergences just made it go, you know what? Forget it.
What are you doing? What are you doing? We give up.
Yep.
Seizure, seizure,
Right?
seizure. As in,
Exactly.
we're seizing back your internet.
Eminent domain, bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
You've been throttled. No.
Oh, it's. I swear to God, it seems like they do that.
Oh
Probably
man,
do.
these hurricanes
Mhm.
are such a pain in the butt because they give you 10 stacks of poison for every second you're in it. Lord
Oh,
help you if you're on ground zero as it spawns. I had 30 stacks of poison, which was I was like, I am so fucked.
Yep.
and no no condition.
No Condi cleanse, because
Essentially, you don't even have enough time to look at see what bit you.
right,
You're
right.
dead.
Yeah.
Well, I try to get towards people because sometimes they help. A lot of times they help.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
And
It's
when my internet is working, my little, firebrand here, she can take it, because she'll fly up in the air and land and have all those stacks, and it's just like, yeah, whatever, and it'll throw a little condi cleanse on there. Plus, she's got minstrel gear, so.
yeah. Best I got is so rifles give me 2 extra dodges, but it
Two
does
dodge? What?
right. Oh Lord.
Well, there's my weeklies done now.
I knew I was going to be in trouble when my skills all started flashing. It's like, oh
Oh
no, here
no.
we go.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with that because I need more masterwork drifts.
Well, glad I got the weeklies done.
Yay!
Yay.
What is that, 70, 80? I am 20 short of getting all the rare rift essences that I need and finally getting my first legendary
Woo.
First legendary,
armor for
Piece
heavy.
of armor.
like full set.
No, 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 no,
Oh
no.
God, no.
Just
Jeez.
1 out of 6.
Oh, so you need how many more rifts? You said
I think 10 more. I have to double check,
10
but
more. Okay,
total period.
and then that's just to get the
The helmet.
Mhm.
well, I mean, where's my party? Is it just to get these that you need?
No, no, no. The rare ones.
The rare ones.
Oh, the rare ones.
Yeah. The masterwork. I think I need 100 for each of those. So I think I need an extra 120. I actually need more of those now than I do of the rare ones because I've been working so hard to get the rare ones.
My
Yeah.
problem is I've got so much essence that I've got enough essence to make all of the remaining 10 pieces of armor.
Wait, you're unlocking every set?
Yeah, I've already done.
Oh my goodness.
I've already done.
Yeah,
The,
he says casually.
Fuck it. Why not? Right? Aren't you?
Right?
no, I mean like
Of
I've
course,
already
please.
I've already done the heavy one, and
You knew?
I've already done the slumbering. You know how the upgraded version of
yeah.
it. I've already done that for all of those for the heavy armor. I've got 2 pieces of the light armor made, and
Let me
and
show
I've got
you.
everything.
Let me show you my
made, and I just
Let me show you my garage. This floor is my Mercedes Benz. Let me show you my second floor of BMWs.
See, my problem is the thing I need the most of right now is the meta currency, the one where you can turn in 250 of the map currency,
Bro,
or I
just
need a lot of those.
put 3 of your characters
Why no?
and just passively get it every day.
Well, my problem is I wanted something that was 20,000 of one of the map currencies, and so I turned it in for that.
Oh my god.
Wow.
So I delayed it because of that. I really wanted it.
So the total that I need to get my 12th amalgamated rift essence is I need 20 more rare rift essences and
I wish I could give those to you.
I wish I could buy them off the fucking marketplace. And then I need 62 more masterwork rift essences. Actually, yeah, 62.
Yeah.
And then I need to do the
Because
whole thing all over again. Woo!
let's see, because to make a full set, with those being 50 of those, you need what is it 600? I'm trying to remember. So
Of what?
12 of the rares. So
Uh, yeah, you need 50 for
and it's
each, and then you need 12, so 600. Yeah, 600 per piece.
oh, gosh, I really wish I could give you
That
those.
no worries. It's just I'm glad you guys mentioned convergences because that has been an amazing way to get them.
Yeah, because there's a daily convergence chest that resets every day, and then the weekly one, if you do it at least 3 times a week, it gives you a decent amount of essences.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I've enjoyed it a lot, and it's really helped me out.
And then if you have the
Because what do you think I'm gonna do? Rift hunting, bruh.
if you have the expedition contract or
I
whatever,
do.
is that so? Do you have that one set to essence as well?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that helps as well.
Yeah. All of that has been helping. It's just it's been a bit.
I know.
But
Now, ever since all this has happened, I haven't been able to grind this like I want to.
aw.
I've just been between doing the horse stuff and then I've gotten back into RP over on Star Wars, so I've pulled that way. I haven't
The wrong
been
one.
as much as I would have because I'm working on the spear.
You know what's funny? So those Imperial fragments, whatever they were called, those the blue ones that are ascended materials
Yeah.
that I saw you had in the bank.
Oh. Let me see here. Let me. Boop. Which ones? I have. So this is my. There you go. This is
Right there, yeah. Wait. Buy the Bloodstone ones.
by the Bloodstone ones up here.
No,
Because these are the
what are they?
Bloodstones.
Bloodstone. So the Dragonstone, Bloodstone, yeah,
Yeah,
the
these.
blue ones.
These ones.
So the line of blue ones you have.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Oh my goodness, I've got 20,000 of those, and I just need to ditch them.
I need to remember to feed them to something. Like, I don't know,
My
man.
problem is
I got all
it's
this
funny.
bullshit over here, and I'm sure, like,
I get them so fast that even if I do it daily, I'm not getting rid of them fast enough.
yeah, I need to do something with them. So I'm working on 3 legendaries at the same time. So here's the legendary ring. I just need stupid ass. Where is it? World versus World tickets, which I also wish I
Oh
could.
yes.
I need 750. I'm at 478. Once I hit
Were you able?
750, I'm done. I'm done with this.
Were you able? I'm trying to remember when that World versus World event happened. Were you able to do it?
No, I had
Oh darn.
midterms at that time. The
Oh,
fucking timing was horrible.
because that would have given you around like 100 tickets
Yeah,
right there,
yeah.
and
F my life.
darn, it had to be right then. They've been pretty consistent about doing it each season.
Yeah,
It feels like.
I just need to find time, and that's been the biggest problem right now. But I got 2 more weeks left of school, and then I have like a week off before I start summer school at another college. Oh my
Right.
God. Okay. So my scholarship doesn't cover summer school or winter session at my current state college for my double major in business administration and accounting. But what I realized after winter session of not doing something is that I lose those student skills. So when I get back into school in the fall or the spring, I'm in
You're
a
rusty.
yes, very quickly, very evidently. So I realized that I needed to continue being a student to keep up on those habits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
But
hear you.
since I'm paying out of pocket at this point because my scholarship won't cover it. I decided to go to a community college. Now I've already got 4 associate degrees. I,
Nice.
I have an associate's degrees in social and behavioral sciences. I have an associate's degree in business administration. I have an associate's degree in accounting, and I have an associate's degree in just general business. Um, wow, you got so many precursors. I assume it's because of
Those are the ones I'm making right now.
Jesus.
And the obsidian armor. Yeah, I have no time.
Well, I'm working on I think 4 at the same time. So I
Oh
got
God, no, I do one thing at a time, thank you.
I got the legendary ring over there. I got the astrolaria over here, which I just need 250 mystic coins, so I'm like short 138, I think. 128 mystic
Did
coins.
you already get all the ones from this one so far?
Yes, I believe so. Let me double check, but I am pretty sure that that was the first thing I bought.
Because you can get what 20 per season.
90.
90.
I
That's
think
90 gold.
oh, probably, yeah. Well, I maxed it out, so I have all the mystic coins I can get.
Yeah.
At least through that. Um, but yeah, I just need that, and then I need to finish out the Australaria 4, and that is it. So I just,
Oh, you're real close.
yeah.
And then you can have this cool axe that I have as well.
Right. And then, because I was a madman, I was working on the second stupid ass world versus world ring, so I wouldn't have to do
Oh,
uh, um, raids. As you can tell, I already got 4 gifts of battle.
I honestly feel like it's faster to do the raid one if you can find a group that does at least 1 day a week.
Yeah,
Uh,
the Shaz Guild does it twice a week. It's
because
just
unless you're like
no lifing the
2,000.
hell out of it.
Well, yeah, that because I feel like for you to be able to grit tickets faster, you have to be level 2 or 3,000 before you start getting any decent bonus pips to get those faster. Uh, I
Yeah.
just don't understand the people that are level 10,000 real fast
Uh-huh.
in the Wizard's Tower. I need your opinion on something.
Sure. I'm over here at the
So,
armor smith. Oh, there you are.
yep. So I have the shiny wings on this.
It looks
And I'm
nice.
trying to decide if I should switch it to this. And I wanted to see what you thought.
All right. Oh, hmm. That actually works a lot better with your base color scheme and your infusion.
Yeah,
It
that's what I was thinking.
it takes away from the shininess and like the spotlight, but it works. It makes you feel more like an underwater individual because again, it really flows very well with your infusion. So if you're okay with giving up part of that, I am shiny. Well, okay, never mind. Take out your weapons and you're shiny all over again. Yeah, I would go for the blue wings mostly because they work really well with your infusion.
Plus, they don't blind me when I'm actually doing stuff.
Yeah.
And if I ever wanted to, it's really easy for me since I have added fin or whatever it's called for the back piece. I can just easily find that again and switch to it.
See, I don't have that, and Michelle has that, and I'm not normally a jealous person, but like part of me is like, I want to finish getting that so that way, because I know she's never held it up over me, but it feels like it. Especially because she has no recollection of doing any of the tier 4 fractals. She was
Oh
literally
boy.
carried through it.
Yeah, that's
Oh
funny.
God.
Oh, yeah. If you ever decide
I,
to try for that one,
actually, how far am I on that one? Add.
because when the fractal
I'm up to
things
3.
happen, it's actually a really good way to boost to get what you need for it.
I'm actually on part 3, and I think it's 4 parts.
Possibly. Let's see. Yeah, I think you're near the end.
Yeah, yeah, because here's the 4th part. and it's just tier 4. But like in my defense, I've never done anything higher than tier 3.
It's honestly not that bad, tier 4.
I actually heard that tier
Um,
3 is worse than tier 4 because by the time you hit tier 4, you're already familiar with everything.
yeah,
And you're rolling
yeah,
with people that are already experienced with it.
yeah. It's really hard to go wrong with tier 4 because a lot of the problem, especially when it comes to raids, is people's confidence. Once you've got past that gain your confidence stage, then tier 4s are just a walk in the park. The only time that it might not be is just whenever you're doing challenge modes. And even then, most challenge modes aren't too bad. It's when you start going to the higher tier level challenge modes.
Wins if you want. In less than an hour, the next convergence is going to be here.
Okay.
If you do join us, I would recommend switching to your
My notes.
phone.
Yes.
Let's see.
Because I think
So,
if I do this last convergence, I think I'll have enough to finally finish out the helmet. And then I'll have to
nice.
do the whole thing all over again for the shoulders. Head,
You want to
shoulders,
go
knees and
with
toes, knees and toes.
the bonus?
God.
The
Let's see.
bonus?
Oh, I'm trying to remember
The
the
shiny
bonus
thing?
plus convergence.
Are you talking about the weekly thing?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because there should be a chance that allows you to choose between which
Oh, yes. Kind of like the hero's
convergences you
chest.
want.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did, and I chose the green ones because I need a lot more of those.
And then do you have the mastery all the way up as well?
Let me see.
Let's see.
For which one?
Here.
Because the only one I don't have all the way up is Inner Nayos, and I think that's the one you're talking about. Because Essence Attunement, learn to carry the maximum load of Essence and Convergence. No, Convergence Mastery. No. Wisp
Uh,
Pockets. No.
yeah, because the convergence mastery, if you can get that one, successful convergences offer better rewards, give bonus cryptic essence, and also a bonus cryptic essence earned from using motivations. Additionally, you have an increased chance to acquire unstable cryptic motivations, which are used to open convergences. So that one, that last one,
Mm-hmm.
if you can get that, that will honestly make it essences a lot faster in the long run, especially now that you're doing convergences more often. That will
Hmm.
give you higher rewards and more because now I'm drowning in essence. I don't know what to do with all of it because I can't use it fast enough
Hmm.
because I still need to do the metas and the original maps to be able to get what I need
Then what I
for
need to do is
transfer love.
I need to get masteries
Yes.
because apparently I don't have enough mastery points.
Yeah.
Okay, so Protector of Radanova's Promenade and Primal Maguma. Okay, I need to just do 3 more steps on that.
Yep.
Okay, and then Omnitas. Wait, anything else over here, or is that the only one? All right, Rise and Shrine. Play with all the Shrine Guardian infants at least once. Oh Lord, how many of them are there? 35.
I did that one. Yeah,
I got
I never did that one either.
yeah, I got 3. Yeah, okay. What else do we got? Back again?
Because I never did that one, and I have 10 extra mastery points for Secrets of the Obscure, and I have everything unlocked.
Wow. Okay, so Omnitas. What else we got over there?
Wait, go back. Wait, go back to the other one. There was a back again. Did you
Yeah,
read that one?
yeah, I did.
Okay.
Ride your
Okay, let's
sky
go through it.
scale or griffin from the southern gate to the blue orb
Mhm.
in under 10
That one.
minutes.
It's honestly really easy.
Okay, I think I'll have to look up a video on it to give me an idea of what to do.
Yeah, that one's real easy.
Okay,
Real easy.
that'd be good because that way I can go back to earning more XP because right now I'm maxed out and I don't have the mastery for it.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got over here? Where are we at? So I think we did all of that. So Omnitas. Oh, dude, we got a lot over here.
Mm-hmm.
Oblige Obscure. Bastion. Okay, so just look these up. Okay.
One of them is just doing the events around the map because if you do the different event chains, then they all eventually end, and then you can just get it.
Okay. Yeah, I got quite a bit of these, or progress in some of these.
Mm-hmm.
I see. All right, I think I'm gonna have to focus a little bit more on this. I was working on Strength of the Unseen. As you can see, I'm 5 out of 8.
Mm-hmm.
I like the story. That was the whole point. I didn't care about the reward. I mean, it's an exotic.
I mean, like, it's an interesting weapon, but the story was most definitely more interesting.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's a lot of masters over here.
Oh yes, lots.
Okay.
And there's a couple that are fly from this location to this one in this amount of time, and those ones are all usually really easy. And then a lot of them are just completing all the events in a certain area,
Right.
and then you get a mastery from it.
Huh.
And while you're doing it, you get experience. So woohoo!
Yeah. Dude, there's a lot over here in Nayos.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, okay. I should probably. I wasn't thinking about masteries. I was so obsessed with trying to get like those essences. But I think in once I complete this helmet, working towards the next one, I should probably take a quick tangent and do some of these to get enough of those.
Yeah, because if you get that last one for the Secrets of the Obscure for Internios, you're gonna get those essences a lot faster.
Okay, and those are the main hindrances for me. Everything, a lot of everything else, I could just buy.
Yeah, because right now, let's see, I'm sitting on. Where are the essences?
Where we at?
I'm about 6,000 of the fine rift essence,
Jeez.
3,000 of the green ones, and then 1,600, and I'm rounding them right now, of the rare ones.
But I think if I did maybe 2 convergences a day, I could probably get quite a bit. Um,
Yeah.
just need to find the time. Like tonight, I jumped on a little bit late because I forgot I had a physics exam today.
Oh, fun.
Like I was telling Michelle and Wins, I was so thankful that I just finished reading those chapters today over my lunch break, so it was still fresh in my mind. Because otherwise, I would have been like an hour, hour and a half late.
Oh
Wow.
god.
Yeah, you cut that one close.
Yeah. Well, it was due by midnight.
Yeah. I was thinking of writing the papers tonight, but I'm like, probably better if I sleep first.
I think formulate an idea of an approach,
Yeah.
sleep on it. Tomorrow you'll be fresh about it, and you'll already have thought about your approach to each of them. So it'll give you a good motivating factor.
Yeah. Our thing is with how little there is for words that you can use. I feel like you can only have like 4 paragraphs.
Pretty much. So, I mean, that's why it's so important to know your approach, you know? And that's why I would say, like, if it's 4 paragraphs, make 2 of them about you and your specific situation. I mean, that's what makes you stand out. You have to stand out.
Do you think in scholarship papers to end with conclusions is still always a good idea?
What do you mean?
Like you kind of sum it up at the end, everything that you did.
So, like, all right. In many ways, you're writing a paper to persuade. So you should always end with a call to action, or something that feels like a call to action. And here, the call to action that you want is for them to give you the scholarship. So what can they do? What do you want them to do? And kind of putting that in there. You know, like we joke every once in a while about, hey, remember to like, comment, subscribe. That's a call to action, essentially. Um, it's obviously you got to finesse it because people just don't like the idea of give me money.
Yes.
So you have to find a way to tactfully and work that in where it feels organic, but it obviously it's formulaic. Everything eventually gets broken down that way.
So essentially, like saying, receiving this scholarship will enable me to be able to, or I don't know, I want to say if those are the exact words, but essentially kind of work it in something.
I think you're on the right track of this scholarship could really help me, and help me provide for my family and take a bold step down this new career path that I'm looking to explore.
Mm, it's
Because
almost
that way they
just
feel like they're
yeah,
helping you, like they're investors in your ship that you're taking out to explore.
yeah. So essentially, the first 2/3 is answering the original question, and then the last 1/3 is my situation as a person and how this could benefit me.
I would flip it. So the way I would open it would be, I would open with the answer to their question because that's what they're looking for, and then I would personalize that for your own situation in the middle, because that's where you get to stand out. Because if you start off with the emotional plea, they're just gonna think, okay, we're already being worked by a con. Uh, I get your sob story. Everybody has a sob story. We really want the answer to this question. But if you start off with the answer to the question and then shift over to the emotional, it'll be a smooth transition. And then at the end, you pull the whole thing together by the call to action.
Okay, so answer question, 2, personalize in the middle, and then 3, call to action or bring it together.
Because I really think that the meat of your paper is your unique personal situation. But I think the bread is important because I think that's what they're looking for.
Yeah, because then at the end, then you just kind of bring the question and everything all together. Okay.
Right, you're doing your sales pitch essentially.
Yeah.
Because in a way, that's what you're doing. Is you're just trying to sell your situation and yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, obviously,
So,
these are just suggestions. You can honestly do whatever you like.
no, of course, and I enjoy feedback, and that's why I like being open to discussion.
Yeah.
Because I honestly have never found a situation where getting more feedback was bad.
Um, Uninformed opinions, bad opinions, objectively bad opinions.
Are you saying you're an objectively bad opinion right now?
Not in this situation because I have some expertise in this. Actually, my former boss when I used to work for an MPO was
Mhm.
brilliant. Her argument was you should always attach a face to your argument, and so she used to put clips of like the students that we would help. So whenever she would ask for the board of directors like a bigger budget, she'd say, "Look who we're helping. Look what's going on," and it made it harder for them to say no when they actually see the people impacted by these decisions.
Mhm.
She was so clever. I mean, obviously
That's smart.
that wouldn't apply in your scholarship request, but if you ever have a chance to include images, you totally should. But in the same way, like you're going with a reasoned and an emotional response.
Mhm.
I just feel in this situation, the emotional response is the thing that'll make the biggest impact, but not what they're looking for. So you give them what they
Yeah.
think they're looking for, and then you kind of sneak that in because that's going to make them feel better about it. And in the end, that's kind of what they want to do. They want to feel better about granting you this money.
Yeah. Bring out the small violin after you answer the question.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, and you're not exaggerating. Like it is what it is. Like you don't have to exaggerate.
Yeah.
Like you have an amazing story that I think can be very inspirational. Well, is very inspirational in my point of view, and I think you do deserve it, and I think you could do a lot with it. I think if they just understood your situation and what you're trying to do, I think I think that could sway a lot of people.
Yeah. Now I just gotta write it.
Well, my main problem was always like trying to crack the idea behind it. So, for example, if I'm writing a story, Like the details don't really matter because you'll figure it out if you're inspired enough. The
Yeah.
problem is trying to get the idea for the story. Like, what are you trying to do? What makes you passionate about this? Because if you're not excited about your story, then how do you expect your reader to be?
Yeah.
And so that's always been my problem of, okay, so I got this idea, right? So what if like a regular dude got magical powers? Okay, how are you making that interesting? Well, the guy is unmotivated. Like he's an everyman, right? Like he has no direction. He's living with his parents. Okay, how is this interesting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess I was just interested because like taking a nobody to somebody would be interesting. It may, but your nobody still has to be unique. Like
Yeah.
there has to be something to hook or relate from the audience to them. What makes them specific? Because like they could be indistinguishable and they shouldn't be. Like Bruce Wayne is Bruce Wayne. Like people have an impression of what they think, and that's generally what they were looking for. um, Wolverine is Wolverine. Like you can imagine, what if Wolverine was at Disneyland? What would he be like? And you can always already imagine it. And it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. The fact is, you have your own point of view of it, and you have a direction based upon the existing narrative that they've put out, or rather, the existing narrative that you have seen and been exposed to. But we, for example, Wins and I have different perspectives of Darkwing Duck because of our exposure to Darkwing Duck. So if we would write our own version fan fiction of Darkwing Duck, while it would be similar if you squint, we would have different approaches to it. And neither one is right or wrong. My main argument in art, well, in writing, especially for like commercial value, is it doesn't matter how technical you are. It doesn't matter how accurate you are. What's most, the bottom line, be entertaining, be exciting. Because otherwise, it doesn't matter how technical you are, what themes you're looking to explore. If it's not interesting, nobody cares. They're not going to get past the first few pages.
Yeah.
So find a way to make it interesting, and really, what makes you excited about it? That's a good start. Not for everything, mind you, because that's what Krask and I have the biggest arguments about. Because he likes to stream games that he is personally interested in, and I told him that's not a bad idea. But I think if you're looking to grow your audience and make this into a career, I think you need to do some research. I think you need to see what games are popular and maybe host one of those games once a week if you're streaming 3 times a week, because you need to build up your audience. And right now, what will bring them in are the games you play. But what will keep them as a regular audience is your own personality.
Yep.
So maybe that would mean playing games that you wouldn't necessarily choose, but that there's already a market for.
I mean, I waited for you for 2 years. What
Oh, well, thank you. I, I, I,
Yeah.
I do like being able to come back into Guild Wars too.
Yeah, I know. I don't like to unsubscribe from people that I've followed and that I liked. And I'm just like, one day maybe they'll return, and I will always be watching.
No, to be honest, it surprised the heck out of me because I don't remember speaking out too much. There was moments I did a lot of PvP back then, I believe. Um, and then I did like some grinding for some of the legendary stuff I was working on, but I didn't really have much of a direction.
Yeah.
Really,
I
it,
remember if because I remember where I let's just say stream sniped you because I wasn't in PvP, but I essentially popped over to where you were exploring the world, and I think it was oh my goodness, I pulled up the wrong thing. It was right over here in Mount Maelstrom, and I believe you were around exactly where it was, but you were in Mount Maelstrom, I believe, when I dropped on you. And I can't remember if it was you or if it was someone else that I dropped dusk on.
I don't think
Yeah.
it was me because I don't have dusk.
There you go. Then it wasn't you. All I know is that
But I think I did get my Halloween staff from you
that might have been what it was.
for my necromancer.
Yeah, because the only reason I really make legendaries anymore is either I don't have that weapon type and I just want it for convenience sake, so I don't have to worry about ascendant anymore, or I'm giving them away. That's all I really do anymore.
Aw. But
Because
yeah,
at this point, I honestly I have all my characters the way I want them. So
yeah. I mean,
I'm like, if I'm enjoying the game, might as well make someone else's day, you know?
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. And I mean, if I never upgraded my stuff ever again, I think I'd be fine. I think it was the
Yeah.
side staff that you gave.
Oh yeah, yeah. That no, yeah,
I,
that
I
thing.
think so. I remember it was a staff, and I remember it was a Halloween style staff that I
Yeah,
may still be using with my necromancer.
oh, nice. I've
Let-
never unlocked that. I've never. It's cool, but I'm always like, well, someone else will enjoy it. I'll probably never use it.
In fact, we got what 20 minutes before the next one. Let me double check. Yeah, we got
Yeah,
about 20 minutes.
because
Let me switch to that
you know
character.
how the Black Lion chest has a chance to drop those
Yes.
permanent licenses or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually got the Black Lion Trader permanent one for that.
So in all my what is it now, 13, almost 14 years of playing the
Oof.
game, um, I've had 7 of those dropped for me,
Really?
Oh my god.
and
Right.
I've never
I am still
ever
using it.
nice.
Look at that. I'm using the skin
I've
for it.
I've actually never ever kept any of them, even though they would be amazing conveniences. But I've got so many of those one-time use ones that I never use as it is. I'm like, I might as well just give it to someone else that'll actually use it. And so I've never kept any of them. And I'm not trying to say, oh, look at me, what a saint.
Right.
I'm just saying, if I don't have a use for it, I'd rather someone else use it that'll actually use it, because I forget that I even have the one-time use ones all the time. So
So I got all the legendary stuff over here. I just am missing the 2 rings, which is why I was working on the legendary ones.
yeah.
I got the legendary staff over here. I got the legendary dagger, and then I needed to work on the legendary torch.
Do you have the legendary oh, what is it called? The new thing,
Spear?
relics?
No, I do not.
Oh darn.
I still need to wrap my head around relics. I know they're essentially the former tier 5, 6.
Yeah, tier 6, yep. For
Um,
runes.
yeah,
No, I honestly, there's so many of them that I'm not the meta crafter. So
right.
I trust other people's opinions on that. But it's nice to have the legendary one, and it's too bad because I can't remember, were you playing when they announced it? Because if you built one legendary rune, then you got the legendary relic for free, and that's what I did as pumpkin.
Ah,
Did that for free.
I was
So I only
not
have
playing at
one.
that time.
Oh
I
darn.
know. I heard about it afterwards, and I was like, dude, that would have been amazing,
Oh,
I should have done
because
that. Yeah.
right?
because
I
I
wasn't
honestly,
bothering with the legendaries yet then.
yeah, because with how many runes I have, because I've got in my bank hundreds of runes
Hmm.
because
Oh
they're
yeah.
just so cheap now. There's only a couple that are worth any gold, and
Mm.
um, at one point when runes originally came out for the legendary rune, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make all, was it 7 or 8 of them or whatever it was,
Oh,
and then
right.
after I'm like, oh, well, maybe not. Maybe I'm not going to make it. Um, all of them, because I was stockpiling because I wanted to make them all at once,
Uh-huh.
all the materials. And so if I was to sell all the materials I had before that announcement, I probably could have sold everything for, I don't know, 400 gold for everything I had,
Oh,
because not, it was more mass produced. There was a lot of people that had it on the market, and it's not as many people were doing it. It was more niche and more of a convenience thing. And then they made that announcement, and then the items I was selling went from selling for 1 gold each to like 15 gold each. So I made 4,000 gold.
wow.
Hmm. And so I then kept enough for me to make just one for myself. And I'm like, I have got enough runes that I'm just going to use the legendary rune on my aquatic helmet, and then I'm fine.
That's
And
ridiculous.
so it was one of those at the right moment at the right time kind of situations.
That's amazing. I love
And
those.
I've been looking at the legendary sigils as well, but I'm just like, once you truly have all the maximum of legendary runes and legendary sigils, that's when you truly know that you've gotten to the point in which you're just dead bored out of your mind and just looking for projects. And so I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Well, for me, like I've always told myself, if like I got everything legendary, I think I would just go into my achievements tab and just finish out everything. Like
Yeah.
I think like for the story journal, I started doing that. For example, going all the way over here. So not season one yet because this was after season one. But like for
Yeah.
example, Gates of Maguma, 999, Entanglement, Dragon's Reach Part Two.
Yeah.
So I did this for a lot of them. I got everything here except for Flights of Fancy and Unblighted.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep.
And so I need to do those. And then Out of the Shadows, Rising Flames, Crack in the
I still
Ice.
got a couple of those I need to do. But
Like this
no,
one, I still have
essentially,
these too.
yeah. Because once you get to that level of just everything's a legendary, then you essentially it just becomes achievement hunting
Yeah,
or fashion wars, and you're just unlocking stuff to unlock new fashion.
yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of why I do kind of like the what they did with the legendary relic,
okay,
as they made it so that when new content arrived, you still had to go through and do the content and do the things to unlock the relic. So that if you wanted it, you need to go do it. They just didn't give it to you like they've done with the runes and the sigils and things like that.
right.
Because you still need to at least play the game and earn
Shock and
things.
surprise. How dare they?
But it's still a major convenience to have, but you still just need to be able to do something.
Hey, Wins.
Yes.
Remember the Raven mysteries?
Oh, yeah.
I only need two more. We actually like when we started playing together a little bit earlier, not earlier today, but like maybe a year ago now.
Yeah.
We did one of these together. Ooh, so much cussing.
Oh, really?
I think in the end she ended up just teleporting the friend to me.
I'm trying to remember what those ones were.
They're the jumping puzzles in Jorah's Reach, I think.
Are the ones with those stupid satellites?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. No, I gave up on those a long time ago.
I only have two left.
Gosh, maybe one day I'll go back to try it, but that was just so annoying.
These are a lot easier with the group. If you guys want to,
I am over here
yeah. Wait, over here where?
in Lowland Shore. I'm over here doing the Bog Queen.
Oh,
Sure.
That whole set of events because I need to squash the maggots for an achievement
Okay.
mm-hmm.
by myself. I just protected those all those damn peat gatherers by myself on my video game.
If you guys want
Not
to,
sure how.
if you guys want to make a night of just doing stuff, I'd be happy to. We could pick an achievement, work on it, and get it taken care of.
I just need one more achievement to finish Lowland Shore.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
How far am I on Lowland? I'm pretty sure I have not touched it. What is that? Jump there, Jump there, Wells, Act 1. Oh, wow. I'm a lot farther than I thought. So I just need 5 achievements and I'm done with Jump there, Wells.
Nice.
But you're talking about Lowland Shore, which is over here? Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I have a mentor tag on right now, so
Oh, okay. I'm on my way.
not that it has brought anybody to me, but you know.
Yeah. No, once the Bog Queen is over, I'm probably head to bed. I'd love to do achievements, but the baby.
No, completely
Yeah.
understand.
We're trying to acclimate him to the new place. So this is the first night he's been over here.
How is the new place, by the way?
It's bigger. And
Oh my fucking god, so much.
Uh-oh.
So many conditions. My only weakness.
Oh wow, there's a lot of those. Yeah, my L-shaped desk broke in the move, and
Oh,
I
no.
found one for $15 to replace it.
Oh, yay. So I really need to be careful because...
Ow! I'm actually. Oh. Ow.
Oh my god, fucking poison.
Mad at me now.
Yeah, there's so many of them.
If you're
Fuck.
on your War Claw, you get to jump through them.
Yeah, my work claw just died. That's all.
Oh, it did. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like I have to like.
My poor glassy body. Thank you, Shun.
I'm a glass cannon, not a healer.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know how we beat that one. There's just so many people. Yeah, if you guys hit me up on Discord, I can try to make other nights, and make time.
And then
Is this the Bog Queen?
well,
It
after
is.
this-
Yep.
Yeah, I will after this get my sleep and then start working on that paper. And
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Good luck.
I have until the 1st, but I'd prefer it to be done hopefully by this Sunday on all 4 of those papers.
I think that would be great. That way you don't have to worry about it. Oh my god, fucking poison, please. Oh god, oh god, oh god.
Yeah, those circles hurt.
I can't even see those circles, thank you.
Spin the win for me.
Oh my fucking god.
Spinning, spinning. Oh, watch out.
You know what's been my condition cleanse? Staying close to wins.
My condition cleanse is dodging. As in, just don't get hit by it.
Glass cannon don't matter if you don't get hit, sucker.
Yeah. Oh, I got hit by that. And that chunked me. Burn it with fire.
I like how you talk smack and then suddenly, ah! Oh god, oh god.
It's like saying, "Huh, you can't hurt me. Oh, you chipped my nail."
Right?
Had to dash through them and dash through.
Dash through them with Warclaw?
Yeah.
Yep.
Zombie zoom.
Wait, dash through them?
They behind us.
What button is that?
It's whatever you set for your dodge.
Oh, just that. Really?
Yep.
Oh, I see what you mean. Got it.
Yeah, using the stamina bar.
Ah.
Edge time. Duel.
You know, I have never seen that. But Michelle is all about Yu-Gi-Oh cards because she used to sell them.
Oh, me too. I still have a lot of them.
You sold them?
Yeah, I used to sell them. I used to have an online store for it.
Oh, wow. No,
I
Michelle
still
used to
have a
sell them in
large
person.
stock. I did in person and online, but yeah. Online is a pain though, because then you have to categorize and document everything.
I mean, it helps.
It helps, but then you get people complain. They're like, "That's not mint." I'm like, "It is. I graded it. I graded it."
Yeah, but it would be cheaper for me if it wasn't. But can we say it's not?
Yeah. big hits. Watch out.
Someone on Guild Wars was doing map chat, and they're like, "Name the best guitar solo ever," and I was like, "Dude, Intro to Power Rangers." That went so hard. I know that's not the answer you're looking for, but that is my answer, sir. Oh my god, my face. Oh god, I'm bleeding. I'm good.
Is it bleeding or is it poison?
It's poison. I'm bleeding poison. All my pores. Suddenly just bleeding out of every orifices.
Oh, no, thank you. Let's avoid that.
Oh lord. How are you still standing? Why are you still standing? Jesus.
Who, me or her?
Her.
Okay, for a second I thought you were talking about me. I'm like,
Sir, I am dodging very well. I can make a case of why I'm still standing.
There we go again. Where's the...
Back to maggots.
Yep.
all I can say is this is the best time for you to get these because there's no one else competing for them, really.
Yep.
Is there an achievement for them?
Yep.
You squashed like 1,000 of them.
Fucking 1,000. Shut up.
I'm like up there towards the...
If you kill a Google of them, now we're just making up words.
I just killed 300, so actually it's 500.
Okay.
That you need to get. It's not 1,000, but
I mean, it's less ridiculous, I guess.
It's a lot, but I mean, I've done this enough times that it's like one of the easier achievements for me to complete. So I was like, oh, I see they're going on over here. Okay.
Is the achievement you're looking for... Right. Is the achievement you're looking for this one of killing the maggots?
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
I need like one more achievement to finish Lowland Shore, which I need to have in order to get that back piece and the spear thing.
Back piece?
Standing stone's back piece.
oh yeah, I use that to make the legendary spear.
Yep.
Ah, yes.
That's the one that I have.
I believe she's working on the legendary spear. Yes.
It's awesome. You know why? Because even when I have my axes out, since I have that legendary spear equipped as my other weapon, when I crit, you'll see spears, astral spears or ghostly
really?
spears
Wow.
come down on the enemy, even though I'm wielding my swords. I mean, sword axes.
That's pretty
Interesting.
So yeah. So every once in a while you'll see them, even though I have my axes out right now.
My history class, we're wrapping up World War One.
Nice.
We're actually in the last 100 days, aka the American participation in World War Two, World War One.
Yep.
Really, if
The fresh troops that weren't exhausted came in and just cleaned it up.
yeah, after Germany went 10 rounds with everyone else, we came in the last 2 rounds.
I know.
And then take the credit, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
More maggots. Where are they?
Yeah, where I am, I believe. Yep, here we go.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, my teacher made a bold claim of, well, uh, democracies win wars against autocracies every single time. And I was like, why? Like, I don't understand how that's related. And he was like, well, because like it's a lot easier to remove bad generals. And I was like, no, it's not. In an autocracy, you can do the same thing, and a lot easier, may I add.
You just
Because you're not,
kill them.
or just fire them because you're not. No one. There's no checks and balances for your power.
Yeah, because let's be honest, in World War II, there was some pretty out there generals for the U.S.
Yes. Well, I mean, not easily. Like, yes, we could have, but
No, I mean like we could, but I'm just saying it wasn't easy to do.
right. So, and then he was like, well, because decisions are made a lot easier. I was like, no, you just finished talking about a 15 minutes of how bureaucracies are systemic in democracies. So how? And so I didn't
Yeah.
understand. But the more he kept talking, the more I was like, okay. So the core of it is democracies are used to offering up propaganda because they have to get the support of the people. They're
Yep.
very good at spinning their stories, whereas in autocracies, they don't bother giving reasons or justification to people because they don't have to.
No, they really don't.
Now, why does that make a difference? Because the longer you stay in a war, the more morale starts to kick in. Because those are the same people who are fighting for you. Those are the same
Yep.
people who are doing provisions to like save food, save steel, and you want them to support your war, not only like as soldiers, but also contributing to the war. That's just as
Yep.
important, and it's easier to do that with a democracy because you're used to propaganda. You've gotten very good at convincing people.
I'd have to say that one thing that could make it easier for oh, what was the word you said? Not democracy. What was the other one again?
Autocracies?
Autocracy.
I still need
To
more
lose
magnets.
is that
Come on, man. Well,
in their weakened state of war, I would say that depending on the state of at home, there is a potential higher risk of revolt and rebellion.
Oh yeah, because how do you overthrow a democratic president? You just vote him out.
Yeah,
How do you
yeah.
overthrow an autocratic ruler? Bloody revolution usually.
So I'd say that a prolonged war is a heightened threat for them in the sense that it then provides the a higher causation
Oh
and
no.
potentiality of revolts.
Yeah, I mean that's what happened in Russia specifically. That's why they withdrew from World War One. It was funny because they were part of the winning side, the Allies, but they still lost the war.
Yes.
What the heck is this person wearing? I'm going over for the blah blah Wizard's Tower for the
Yeah.
Convergence over there. It starts in about
It's
5 minutes.
just unique to see the difference in how things go for different governances because democracies, things get done slower. And then versus the other direction that things may be going faster, but also doesn't have the checks and balances that will then be able to sustain them in the case of Russia's situation of their famines because different people that were in charge of different things then lied and said we had this much resources when we didn't because we had to show face even though things were a lot worse than they were. So decisions
Uh,
may have been made faster, but because those decisions were made so fast and not necessarily in the best interest of everyone else, then it resulted in drastic measures.
or as an example, the Tsar of Russia was like, "I'm just going to lead the war. I have no military expertise or training. Fuck it. How hard can it be? What do
Oh
you
boy.
What do you mean we're losing a shit ton of our country to Germany?
What do you mean we've overextended and we don't have the resource line to sustain us?
What is this word of
Car lines, what are those?
what's logistics? I
What do
keep
you mean I can't have my fancy steaks?
right. No, what do you mean they're rioting in the palace? Women protesting on Women's Day. That's cute. Nothing will happen because of it. Oh wait, what do you mean the Russian Revolution?
Yeah, right.
What do you mean that my family is going to be executed?
You know what? We'll just send in the Cossacks to break it up. They're heartless
Yeah.
people. What do you mean they joined with the women in the strike?
Yeah,
uh, oh shit.
I know.
Whew.
It's just funny because everyone feels like they have the perfect form of governance, and then they don't. And the problem is when people start to truly believe it without trying to what's the word I'm looking for? Because every single form of government has a weakness in a sense.
They're open to corruption in different amounts,
Yep.
and you have to
And
try to address that.
yep. And then once you start getting complacent is when you then start to have the fall.
Right. I mean, but that fall could take centuries sometimes.
Oh no,
Like the
it
fall of
really can.
Rome was probably over 3 centuries.
Oh, the decline. Yeah, because originally it was very much carved with Roman blood to
Public's open.
maintain their territory, and then it became about. Then afterwards, then the Romans started being more trying to benefit from the riches that they've had,
They
and
over
then
they
they
over
became complacent and
they overextended.
yep,
They were more busy prioritizing their own personal benefits for a few individuals.
yep,
They didn't account for the various famines that were hitting them. They put all of their bread in one basket. Um, they didn't account for the various barbarian tribes that were fighting them or the reasons why they were fighting them.
mm-hmm,
The infrastructure was getting expensive and difficult to maintain.
yep,
They had a schism between the West and the East that was not reconciled or addressed.
mm-hmm.
Like there's a whole bunch of reasons. It's not just one, but like,
No,
and
most
it
definitely
took
not.
a while. It took quite a while.
Yeah, because it is interesting to see how one, as you said, the overextension,
Yeah,
but the overextension of self at home as well, because they lived such a rich and luxury. Their cities were such, that at first it was fine, but they then started falling apart from within, and they couldn't maintain and fix it all.
right, right. It's it's tough to get everything worked out. It's tough to balance everything, and I get like over they had an empire that lasted for quite a while. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
even looking at like say ancient Egypt, they had an empire for quite a while. They,
Oh yes.
but like just the constant fight, the constant overexertion, the constant famines that kept coming up. There's a combination of things that really went to
Oh
their lack of advancement of technology. The Romans just had better technology
plagues
than they
and
did. Oh yeah,
yeah, and then I don't know why, but it's kind of hard to keep the conquered people happy, not to
right.
constantly try to regain their lost land.
Well, even at best. So let's look at the best example of that, and it was the colonies that were taken over by the various empires. So let's look at the most successful one, Britain. Britain at one point in time had the biggest empire in the world,
Oh
arguably the
yes.
biggest empire in the world. Um, how did they maintain it? Well, they copied the Romans in terms of trying to offer hegemony, a unified vision, a unified ideal, standardizing everything. That way people identify with one view. But even then, lots of riots, lots of demonstrations. Almost all of their colonies rebelled. They couldn't hold on to it, and it got expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were just studying about the fall of the Ottoman Empire and how it got subdivided into the Middle East.
Oh yes.
That was supposed to be overseen by the French and British to help them become their own countries as soon as possible. And then eventually the British just had to hand it back to the League of Nations or the United Nations because they just couldn't afford it anymore.
Oh, there he is. It's like, where's the dang siege engine?
Yeah. Well, the thing that is interesting to think of too is that the U.S. is very overextended right now, and we don't even, let's say, truly occupy, or it's hard to say. We got military bases everywhere, but we've
Sure.
extended ourselves so far everywhere that it's just costs so much to maintain everything.
But the thing
And
is like it's not making much of a dent on our GNP, you know? Like
yeah,
yes, it's a lot, dramatically a lot compared to some countries, but it's it's affordable if you look at the perspective. We have one of the
hmm
biggest GNP. I think we do have the biggest GNP in the world,
yes, we do
and so
because
looking at that
we
in
have. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, as I say, looking at that in mind, it's not that big of a deal. Like you look at it comparatively.
Yeah, because it's so interesting at how we have such a large one, even with all the trade deficits we still have so much.
We also
So
we also need to keep in mind what those trade deficits actually mean. A lot of those
oh
countries that we deal with, yeah, we have a trade deficit, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like the example
no
I was told, for example, you have a trade deficit with your grocery market. They've
oh
never
no it's
paid
true.
you money. You've only paid them. It's been one sided. Some would argue unfair, but you gained services and products out of it.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is that because I'm not portraying it as necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying
Right,
that
right, right.
it's just amazing to see how much we make even with all the different countries that we have trade deficits. Now, with those trade deficits, the benefits we get from them are either, better relations, trade, and other benefits and other things that come out of it.
Services usually.
Yep. Um, but it's just amazing that the amount that we as a country make even with those deficits. That's all I'm trying
Right.
to say.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we very much deal with big money spending, but it's what's helped us stay as the biggest world influencer for quite a while.
Oh, yes.
Now, obviously, other countries are trying to take that from us,
Yeah.
but that's going to be a bit. It's going to be a bit of work because of years and years and years of us not only influencing them through the money and the trade and the credibility, but also through culture.
Yeah.
American culture has been one of the biggest things in the world. Now that is shifting. That's not. We're not going to necessarily stay on top forever. We haven't been number one forever either. I mean, there was a moment
No.
in time when like British culture was number one.
Yes. Because and it's truly amazing how a lot of it seems to stem down to culture in the end, no matter what you're looking at. Because,
Because like that's how you convert other countries to your cause.
hmm
That's how the Greeks did it,
yep.
and that's what the Romans try to copy. In fact, there was
Because,
a saying that captive Greece entrapped its own persecutor or something like that. In that, even upon being taken over by Rome, Rome adopted so much of Greek
oh, yes.
culture, idea, philosophy, everything that
Like, they copied so many things. Their gods just renamed them,
like
It just,
in some ways Greece still lived on.
oh, it really did. Because there was the same gods, just with different names, and maybe slightly tweaked what they stood for. But for the majority of it, it was this is what they are. And it's an
Right,
exact mirror image of the others.
and they really influenced Western culture in a way that like is even hard to like imagine.
Oh yes, in our words, in our architecture, in our governance, and just in so many different things. No, history's quite a unique and fun thing to observe
I wish there was
and
more money in
share.
it.
I know, and that's the hard thing is that there really it kind of becomes either a hobby or you have to find that dream position that only becomes available when the last caretaker is gone.
Or
and
just be a teacher.
that
Yeah.
too. Yep.
Like, don't expect to get paid too much for it.
Right.
Yeah. It's just it's interesting because I agree with the concept of education for everyone, you know,
Sure.
but then I also understand that educators, I'm kind of conflicted on it. Well-known educators back in the day made good money, but that's back when you're pretty much the privates teaching the rich, and at that point,
I mean, private
you went through
educators
different things.
still get paid well.
No, they really do. I have a friend that he's a private teacher of English for students in Japan, so he makes really good money. Gosh,
Yeah. I
but
mean,
he worked hard, so he deserves it. I'm not gonna. I could never do it. I could never do English to a.
From our white person, when you've got a healer over here, you've got a green mark. I'm over here
Yeah.
protecting your butt, and you just ran away from me.
That sounds about right. That's
people panic and smash buttons.
I know.
How
It's like
often do I lecture Kevin about just smashing buttons?
right,
I like to
and
imagine. Oh, sorry, you go
that
first.
green mark it's like especially when you've got a heal brand over here that's throwing not just I'm throwing the heals and shields and all that stuff. Like, don't worry about it. Just arc.
Yeah. No, I like to imagine when they start to panic, their brain's like, hands is not enough. Use the face. Just start hitting the keyboard with your face.
Yes.
And then a couple missing keys from your keyboard later.
Right.
You know, when Michelle was so Michelle had a week off, and ironically enough, that's exactly when my new contract started.
Oh yeah.
So I went back into the office at the same time Michelle had a week off. So I suggested offhandedly if Michelle would like to stream a game. Of course, Michelle was very offended by that because she was like, "How dare you ask me to work on my time off?" But thankfully, she was very, very nice, took it into consideration, and then agreed. Negotiated down to 2 days of streaming out of an entire week.
There are people.
What I
I saw
forgot,
all over the world.
what I forgot was that my keyboard has most of the keys like rubbed off,
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
but that's fine because I don't need to look at my keys.
Yep.
I didn't think about Michelle. So Michelle was playing the Batman game. It's a Telltale game, which requires you to press the letters Q, the letters E, Shift, WASD. Michelle doesn't usually play too many computer games.
Yeah.
So she doesn't intuitively know what those are. So when I was watching her play, she was like, I can't see.
I mean, I know where they are for typing, but you get me into like a situation like one of those quick time events, I'm gonna probably have a problem too.
Especially if it's not your keyboard. Yes,
Yeah,
the keys are the same way, but they just feel like different.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I understand that fully because I used to play League of Legends. Oh, I'm glad I don't play that anymore. But there wasn't very many buttons that you had to push. But once my fingers got misaligned, suddenly, oh my goodness, start
Oh
panicking. You're
God.
like, oh, and then finally get your fingers back into place. And you're like, oh my goodness, those 5 buttons. Oh, I can't believe I and that's pretty much all it really is. But still, it's just amazing how that moment of panic really makes you
Oh
forget
yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Well, it was also nice to see Michelle play it because Michelle and I play very differently. I tend to be more confrontational, even antagonistic at times, or sometimes even chaotic. Very anti-authority sometimes. Michelle is very, very cautious, uh, and very empathetic sometimes.
Yeah.
So like our decisions were very different, especially when like she's watching me play and she's like, "Why are you doing that? No, don't do that." Or just face palming or skirming away because she would have never chosen that.
Oh my goodness. It's like, why? No, you didn't need to be so mean.
Right? Like, I think we lost our position on the board, and the guy who got us fired is taking it. So he has a shit eating grin as he's extending his hand. And so Michelle's like, I shook his hand and just walked out of the building. And I was like, "Oh, you kidding me? I got an option to punch him. I'm fucking punching him." Oh, you know what? I got a second option to punch him. I'm doing it again.
I'll do it again.
And I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, meanwhile, Michelle's trying to hide her face. Why would you do that?
Like the survey for Mass Effect 2.
Uh-huh.
How many people punched the reporter?
Right, right, right. And in a lot of them, I was in the minority. Like, I obviously didn't do what a lot of people did. But that's because I was playing it from a different perspective.
Yep. And that's what a lot of people don't understand these days, is that it's important to have those different perspectives.
I think so. I think so as well. I think it's important to have dialogue, especially with individuals you don't agree with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the biggest reasons why I'm like friends with Kevin is because we're kind of able to talk about different perspectives, and I don't have to agree with him to like still try to see his perspective.
Yep.
And for me, it's kind of important not to be caught up in an echo chamber because it's too easy just to surround you with people who agree with you or share your
Especially in
viewpoint.
today's age.
Right. Because it's easy just to go, "Oh, okay, you don't agree with me? Fine, F you. I can find another server or another group of people who do."
Yeah. And that's one things that saddens me about YouTube is that it truly doesn't give me new things to be interested in. It just launches what they think I want to see. And I'm just like, no, I'm intrigued. Give me other people's point of views. I don't want to just hear the same thing regurgitated over and over again to me. I want, okay, that's an interesting angle. Now show me the other angle. You know,
Right.
but I don't know.
Well, I mean, because I'm in my marketing class, I've been paying a lot more attention to advertisement now.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I told Michelle the other day, I was like, "Look, I know that these ads here, like for example, for Peacock, we were just watching Parks and Recreation because Michelle's never seen it, and so I'm
Uh-huh.
putting her through it. But like we're getting these different ads, and I'm like, why am I getting a Lexus ad? Is it because I'm a guy and it thinks I want a car? And so like we were trying to diagnose it, and Michelle was like, "Well, you're currently driving a Prius, and Toyota owns Lexus, and so your record of owning a Prius is public record. So why not, right? It's targeting you." That I was like, "Okay, that's clever. I like the leaps you made. All right." Now, this is a commercial for uh, children's, I think, medicine or something. I was like, I clearly don't have kids. Why is this targeted towards me? And so it's been us trying to figure out what path did they take for this. And I told Michelle, I was like, sometimes I just want to talk to their um, to the marketers and advertisers and go, what information are you going with? Because your thing is skewed. I,
Right.
I'm not a middle aged woman like concerned with menopause. Why are you advertising this to me?
Yeah.
Like you have my name, you have my profile, you've seen what I've seen. Do I have the visual tastes of a menopausal woman?
Oh dear.
I mean, that's not necessarily bad. I'm just wondering what's the crossover? What's the Venn diagram for that?
You have a cat.
Oh, okay.
You talk about your cat.
All I hear is cat, cat, cat.
Yep. See, must be some old cat lady, you know.
Apparently,
Yeah.
I'm surprised I'm not getting more commercials for cookies based on his name.
Since you just say cookie a lot.
Right, right.
No, what drives me nuts is right now I'm on a special diet for 3 weeks,
Oh no.
and
Is it
so
by
it's reasonable.
choice or is it by committee?
It's I committed with my parents
Oh,
for it,
okay.
and it's supposed to help my liver.
Hey, I also
To
got liver concerns.
yeah, and
My
so
doctor's concerned about the fatty liver.
yeah, and I'm doing a fatty liver detox right now,
Ooh,
and the first 2 days you can only do their supplement. So 4 supplement pills in the morning
oh wow, that's a
with
lot.
a 20 with yeah 4 supplement pills in the morning with a 20 ounce protein shake of their own protein shake mix that's supposed to be specifically for this.
Okay.
Then at 11, 11 or 11:30, you can do another 20 ounce shake with 1 scoop in it. And then at
Jeez,
3,
you're
you
in a
can do another
liquid
20 ounce.
diet.
Well, for the first 2 days, you do this. So at 3, you do
Oh,
that again. And then at 6:30, you do it again, but with 4 of the supplement pills again. So 4 in the morning, 4 at night. So
okay.
you do that for the first 2 days. And then on the next 5 days after that, you still do at 8 a.m. the supplement with the 4 pills, but you do 2 scoops of the protein shake this time with the 20 ounces. And
It
then at 11:30, you can do a veggie lunch. So just 2 cups of veggies, um, and then you do at 3 the 2 scoops of protein shake again in the 20 ounce. And then at 6:30, you're allowed to do dinner, but it's the 2 cups of veggies again. But you're allowed to do one meat protein only for dinner, and it could be it could be chicken, turkey, or some fish or some other things.
okay.
But they
Like
have to be very
healthy.
specific. Yeah, healthier ones. And then
Like
you do that
okay.
for 5 days, and then that's the duration of the individual packet that you buy. My parents do it in 3 week increments, so I'm doing it with them for 3 weeks. So it goes two
Wow.
days liquid diet, 5 days of that variety, and then they start again at the 2 day liquid diet and the 5 days of variety. And we're just going to day 6, and I've got 2 weeks
Oof.
left, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know how I do this.
Oof. So at my old work, I had a few coworkers who were vegetarians.
hmm
And so we were having different discussions, and they're like, "Oh, I bet you couldn't even go a few days of being a vegetarian," because I told them I pretty much was a meat eater for
hmm
about maybe 15 to 20 years with little to no vegetables at all. And surprisingly, health wise, I was okay. I wasn't great, but I also didn't have any serious health problems,
Yeah.
surprisingly. Um, and so we went back and forth, and in the end, I was like, "Sure, man, I'll try. I will live as a vegetarian for an entire month." And so I did. I talked to Michelle, and Michelle was thrilled by the idea. She also didn't think I was going to stick through with it, but I did. I actually spent an entire month doing it. And I tried different things, and we tried different methods to try to replace the idea and the taste of meat instead. Um,
hmm
but in the end, I told him, I told you I could do it. But what it felt like was, hey man, I don't have to sleep in my bed. I could sleep on the floor of my kitchen.
Yeah.
I could, but why do I want to?
Yeah.
And so at the end of it, I was like, hey, look, I did it. I knew I could. I knew I also wouldn't enjoy it. And lo and behold, I didn't enjoy it, but I did it.
Yeah. No, I'd have to say the worst part about this is the 2 days of just liquid diet. That's the one that, and the other part that sucks is not be able to snack. You have to eat at those specific times. Because
Uh,
I'm a snacker. I snack through the day. So if I was allowed to snack on like apples and carrots and stuff throughout the day, it wouldn't be so hard.
I need to stay away from fruits because of their high sugar content. And
So,
I really miss drinking apple juice or orange juice.
yes.
But oh man, because my doctor really wants me to cut back from sweets at least until I'm no longer pre-diabetic. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm already really like, so I was really, really borderline, and even he thought, or she thought, I'm sorry, that I was already crossed over into diabetes.
Yeah.
And the story is once you cross over into diabetes, there's just no crossing back. You're diabetic, period. Um, and since I almost went into diabetic shock by having too many drinks and eating way too many sweets way too quickly, uh, that's why she was very upset, and that's really what led to like changing and making sure that I watch what I do and cutting back on drinking.
Yeah.
And so I did, and 3 months later we tested, and I was almost not pre-diabetic anymore.
Nice.
So it's just a matter of trying to keep up with it, and lose the weight because I feel like the fatty liver is there because of the weight.
Yeah, my problem is I like to cook. I love, and
See,
so since I love to cook, I just I'm really good about making comfort food. I guess you could say Southern
uh,
style comfort food. Like I love, um,
but it's also your way of showing like you're expressing your emotion. Like that's how you care for someone. That's how you
yeah,
provide for them. And so you have to find a different way to do that you're not used to.
yeah, because I love a good biscuits and gravy, which is honestly really really bad for you.
Oh, I'm sure. And see, the thing for me is like I love to eat out. I don't
Oh,
like eating at
nice.
home. I love the idea of traveling somewhere, of having someone else wait on me. I my love language tends to be like people acts of service for me, or gifts for me, and so that happens to hit both of them. Um, and so whenever I would feel bad, my thing would be, let me just go eat out, not for the food, but for the ambiance, for the idea, for the feeling.
Yeah.
And so I needed to find another way to kind of hit that because like when I went, so I tried therapy because one, it was covered under my medical, and I didn't usually have medical. And so I was like, because I'm so used to working as a contractor, I don't usually have medical, or I've had to provide it privately, so it'd be the minimum.
Yeah.
But I was working for this other job, and like they actually provided really good medical, which covered therapy. And so I figured I might as well take advantage of it if I'm already paying for it.
Yeah.
And it was a question of, okay, what brings you happiness? And that really stumped me because I realized that there was two things for me. There's things that bring me happiness and things that take away unhappiness, but don't give me a positive number. But as an example, like video games. Video games
Hmm.
take away unhappiness, but they don't provide positive numbers of happiness. So they help me
Yeah.
not be at a negative number, but they don't push me to a positive number. Taking a walk helps take away negative numbers, but doesn't bring me positive numbers.
Hmm.
And so I realized I had a lot of stuff that was helping me deal with things, but not giving me happiness.
Yeah. I guess one for me would be reading books.
I love to read
Love
books.
love reading books, but I hate books ending. And so um, books bring me great thought, it brings me great, the fantasy worlds or the sci-fi worlds, all that stuff. So things to dwell on and to think on and to like. But then as soon as the book comes to an end, then it's more of a, oh my gosh, I got to read it so I know how it ends. But then I'm depressed now that it's ended. So it's kind of funny
Yeah.
how that works.
Well, I mean, but it's like the people in your life. They're not always going to be there, but let's not dwell on when they're not there. Let's enjoy the moment that we're with them.
Hmm.
And like I told Michelle, hey, we may not live in this city in this apartment the rest of our lives, but while we're here, what amenities do we have? hey, let's take a walk around our apartment complex and look at what makes this unique. Let's enjoy this moment. Let's go to restaurants near here locally. Let's put value in this because who knows when we'll have an opportunity, and let's not wait until it's gone to then miss it. Let's enjoy it now. And so I treat
Yeah.
books kind of the same way. Like I love the story, I love the idea, but and I know this is gonna end, but let me enjoy this moment and not worry so much like how bad the breakup's gonna be that I miss out on the relationship.
Yeah.
And so,
Well,
like, I had to really think about it. And so that's why I told Michelle, hey, I don't have too many answers about what brings me happiness, but thinking about it, and I know this is weird and I don't want to put this on you. So if you don't want to, that's fair. But having you there watching me play, not necessarily playing with me, but just being here and experiencing what I'm going through, I guess, I feel brings me happiness. Now you don't have to do it, and I feel it's cheap to put this on you because I don't want to burden you with the idea or the pressure that oh my god, if you don't do this, I'm going to be unhappy. That, that's not true, and I don't want you to feel that way. But I haven't found other sources yet. I'll keep looking for other sources, but I think having you as part of my sources is a good thing to do considering you're my partner in my life.
yeah.
I think it'd be weird if I was like, you know who brings me happiness? Kevin.
Still close.
Right? I think he would be I think he would be justifiably a little concerned, upset, offended, defensive.
What the hell?
Right.
You
Right.
want chopped liver?
Right. Because I told her, look, your partner should be the first person you want to share something. The moment anything comes up and you want to share, they should be the first thing on your mind. They don't
Yeah.
have to be, but I feel like in a healthy relationship, they should be. Because if they're not your best friend, then maybe that relationship doesn't have the intimacy that you're looking for. That's not necessarily always true. People could have great intimacy and have other friends, but I always feel that it's important for you to prioritize your partner in your life.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they could justify they could justifiably feel like chopped liver.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's true. Like Michelle has felt sad in the past when she was like, "Wait, why am I hearing of this now? Why are you telling it to them first when I haven't heard of it?"
Yeah, true.
And I'm like, you know what? I because I forgot about it because I didn't think about it at the time. And by the time I got home or the time I saw you, it was already old news to me. But then why are you sharing it with them now?
Yeah.
Be-
I just remembered. Yeah.
right, right, and she feels justifiably like left out and sad at that point. I get it. I think I just got it. I think I just got it, fam.
Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh. Let me make this last
Oh,
one. That should bring me up to 12.
yay.
Let me double
I'm gonna
check.
go to bed after you make this.
I'm gonna go to bed
I gotta
after I
get.
make this.
Oh, I gotta get up
Oh
in
yeah, I
5 hours.
gotta. Oh, just to work on Rosie tomorrow. So the arena's too wet to
Oh my
ride, so
goodness.
I can't really ride Pally because she's gonna want to be moving out and stuff, and I don't want her to slip. So
Fuck
I'll ride
yeah.
Rosie around.
Fuck yeah. Gift of
Got it.
expertise. Where the hell is it now? I have so much bullshit.
It's okay.
Gift of expertise.
Now you need to go to your crafting table after you do this.
My crafting table?
Yeah, you craft it in the actual armor smith one.
Oh, the legendary armor smith one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going over there right now.
Oh,
Legend.
no. You can craft it the regular armor. No, no. Yeah, if you
Okay.
don't have to do it there.
Okay. I don't have a recipe for it. Do I?
For recipe. You should know
What's the recipe called?
So
Obsidian?
type in obsidian.
No.
And we'll see if you have what you need.
I have vial of Titan melted liquid obsidian.
Because you're making the heavy armor, right?
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, this is your very first one you're making.
Yeah.
That's
so you
right.
gotta get the recipe first.
I got a what?
Okay, so once you get everything you need to make it, you don't make the legendary armor in the Mystic Forge. You actually go to the armor smith to make it, and so you, I believe,
I
get
see.
the recipe from
Legendary obsidian armor can be purchased from
the
Lear.
dwarf over there.
The dwarf has a name, sir.
Oh yeah,
The dwarf.
Richard.
Lear.
Yeah, Richard. All right. Yes, Lear. So,
Alright, crafting. Alright, let's look here.
let's see.
Miscellaneous, Astral Ward, Aneros, Astral Arcana, crafting recipes,
Have you unlocked all those armors?
Legendary Obsidian Armor.
No, sorry. Go up.
Actually, I think this is it.
Oh, there you go.
Let's find out.
Armors, yep.
Okay, there. Wow, I unlocked a shit ton of stuff. Okay.
Yep. There you go.
Okay, so
And
now.
now go back to the armor crafting.
Ah. Okay, helmet. Ooh, look at that. Look at that.
There you go.
So I got all this bullshit.
5 more to go.
Yay! Fuck this, I'm out, bitch.
Just run off of.
I'll see you guys in 6 months. Fuck off.
No, I'm gonna laugh from now on. You just run around with legendary helmet, but no other armor.
Right? Hide everything
I'm
else. A helmet and a cape. Helmet and a cape.
That's all you need.
Uh,
And
feel,
an axe, a singular axe.
feels nigh impenetrable.
I can say my essence of luck. I forgot about that. I need to keep.
But I reckon the look of this alone will send most of your enemies running. Lear, facet of logic. Those who don't run will just bounce off, eh? Lear, facet of emotion. Items locked in legendary armor available for all of your characters. They can be found in the equipment tab of your. Yay! Oh my god. Now I got 3 more to go.
Congrats.
5 more to go, sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you. It's my
very wishful thinking.
right. Okay, let's go with that. Let me pull off what the infusion and the rune. What do I use for that to remove stuff? Is it this upgrade extractors?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a shit ton of those, so let me just go with that. I think. Where's my armor? Where?
You go to
Where did it go?
Hero tab.
No, I thought I removed my helmet.
Do you have what's it called? Multiple builds? Because
Oh
you might have
no.
the helmet on other ones.
You're absolutely right. Give me a moment. I do.
Yeah.
How do I live without you? I wanted to know. Okay. So, whoop, whoop. There you go. All right, let me pull that off. Boop. Let me extract the rune. No, let me extract. How separates? Okay. Extract. Ah, there you go. All right. Then let me go back over here. Okay, and then this one.
Yeah, but if you ever have to, you right click the legendary armor and hit customize, and then it'll make it a lot faster for when you are attaching those.
Okay. Eventually, I'm gonna want a legendary rune, so I don't have to worry about this.
Yeah.
All right. So if I was gonna just wear the helmet, I wonder, I can hide that? I can hide that. Oh, I can't hide everything.
No, unfortunately not.
Aw.
Yeah. No, it'd be interesting if they made something that would enable you to hide it in the future, but oh well.
There we go. Straight Berserker's build. Woohoo!
Yeah, because they now have an invisible cape and they have an invisible backpack item. So
Wow.
both from April Fools. Ugh.
All right. So I guess the next thing I'm going to work on is shoulders. We'll start looking that up later and then seeing what we can do.
Oh, so you're doing head, shoulders,
Knees and toes, knees and
I was
toes.
about to say.
There was one moment when Michelle woke up at like 4 in the morning, and then I just rolled over, looked at her face, and just like right in front of her, the first thing she would hear would be head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. And she just couldn't go back to bed because that song was stuck in her fucking head.
You did this to me.
She didn't even know why. A lot of common things that Michelle says is why.
That's great.
It makes me laugh every time.
Oh, that is real good.
But do I not have anything to break down ascendant bullshit? Okay.
Wait, so if you instead of salvaging ascended stuff, if it lets you research it, you actually get a decent amount of research papers from from ascended, but it has to say that it can be salvage type
The,
research as
the
well.
the reason I wanted to salvage it is because that gives me another one of those cubes.
Oh yeah,
And
you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
need
need that.
more of those.
Right, right. That's why I was like, oh, if I just exchange one for the other, that helps me build the next one.
So one thing you can do is you can get one
Yay.
ascended weapon and 3 ascended armor from the wizard's vault each
Uh,
season, so you can salvage those.
so I got this heavy armor. I got this accessory. I got this other accessory. I got this other back item. I got this other accessory. I got this other ring. I got this
So
other amulet.
that accessory, the let's see, the one next to the
I have a
cape,
sanded armor box that I haven't even chosen.
nice. Um,
This one?
but the one amulet can't be salvaged.
Oh. Hmm.
Yeah, that one's account bound because that one's from the Fractal Rush, so you can't salvage it, unfortunately.
But
So,
dude, plus 10 agony infusion isn't bad.
and you might be able to extract that, and then after that, just toss the amulet
Hmm.
or accessory or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, because
Yeah.
if you have because you've already got a legendary, you don't need the ascended part.
I got 2 legendary fucking items. Let me show you. So, amulets, right?
Yeah.
I got Transcendence and I got the Prismatic Champions Regalia.
And there's not really a big difference between
There is
the
no difference. It's so dumb. I had this one
I know.
first. And then this one I was so close to doing, I just needed to finish it, which was dumb.
No, see, they really need to make it so that at least those ones have a visible effect, like almost like it's actually dangling around your neck and it has no coming right out.
That would be
Something
cool.
cool like
That would be very cool.
because then it makes it actually have a cosmetic reason to have it.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
but as it is right now, once you get one, you don't have any incentive to get the others other than just to be
A fiend about it.
yeah, and just in what's the specific words I'm looking for? A completionists where you're trying to go for everything. So I don't know.
All right. Well,
Oh
thank you
well.
guys for tuning in. I got the first
Yeah.
part of the 6-part effing item. You guys.
Well, 6 of 12 if you are going to make it go into the slumbering form.
Let's burn that bridge when we get to it. Oh my god. All right. Well, yay.
Mittens is saying good night too,
Oh, meow 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 mittens.
loudly.
All right, so stay tuned. If you guys want to come back for tomorrow, we're gonna have Batman. I was just talking about Telltale games, and Michelle and I's different playing styles. So tune in as Michelle face palms and watches the burning train wreck of what's gonna be happening tomorrow. Because I'm pretty sure we're just gonna go straight down. So if you want to know how the Joker became a hateful, obsessive person, watch tomorrow because that's
Blame
likely
Eric.
that's likely gonna happen.
Yep.
Blame Eric.
All right.
All
Good
right.
night.
A pleasure to hear from you, Shun. A pleasure to hear from you, Wins. Thank you. And
Good night.
hopefully we see you guys soon. Always fun. You guys have a good night, and I will see you guys later.